There
There it is. Welcome to the Bob and Tam Show. Ba-ding!
In our excellent adventures.
There you go. Can't say we didn't say it. We've been talking about it today to try to do that. And give us a few seconds here for the phones to come up. And because you probably can't see us yet. You will, but you won't.
So there's already 6 people on. So I see Charlie from New Hampshire's already on.
There it is. It's coming up live now. Oh, there it is. Can actually see us, so it's not too bad. We're in the RV.
Freezing.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Oh, we had the window open because it smells like a dog.
I wonder why.
So got the heater, just turned the heater on, and so we'll see how that goes. So we're going to talk a little bit about what happened today and what we've seen in town and the bikes and things like that. And probably going to kind of give you a lot of the rundown of what Laconia was all about this year.
Our point of view.
Yeah, from what we could see, we didn't make it everywhere, and who knows what other YouTubers will be out there. Prime Cut Pro's here. If you guys seen it, he actually put a couple videos up already. We talked to him yesterday, and he wanted to meet us before he left, but he went down to, if you guys
Mike's son
caught any of his lives, he's trying to do lives. I got to talk to him about lives. You gotta always remember to check which we did with Charlie too. You got to always make sure you check your internet before you go live, because if you got crappy internet, just like downtown, it was real blurry and freeze frame and all that kind of stuff.
Well, if you don't have very good internet, we figured that out. You can't move around a lot. That's what we were doing down in Daytona.
We've learned that too. So we don't do that anymore. Because when you stay in one stationary place, it's not so bad. It's like here, we got about 6 up. So it doesn't matter what down is, it matters what up is, because we're sending our signal to the cloud, and the cloud is sending it to YouTube and to StreamYard. And then from there, so tonight we're actually on everything, StreamYard. So we got a YouTube and Facebook Live tonight.
That's my Blakey.
So we're just going to do a little wrap up tonight and talk about what's happening. It's raining.
He's in sunny Atlanta, he says.
Holy Jennifer.
Down there with Ken.
It's getting hot down there.
Yeah.
Everywhere's getting hot but here.
Oh, it dropped.
Yesterday was probably almost 90 degrees, and right now we just got out of the truck and it was 50 degrees and rainy and cold winds, and there was I seen one boat out on the lake today. So that's not saying much.
Brave soul.
Because there was a bunch of them out yesterday and nobody in the water, but
there's Rep Durant.
So we actually scheduled this one for you guys, so you knew it was coming out. Didn't give you a lot of head start.
No, where's the blue phone? You need to text Neil.
Well, this is previewed, so he should have got a thing. I put it up when we were. Where did I stop and put that up at? Oh, when you were doing the laundry. That's when I scheduled it. So however long that was, a couple hours ago.
Prepper wanted to know what was your favorite part of Laconia Bike Week. Are you going to get to that in a minute?
We'll probably get to it in a minute. I have to think about it. It's we'll let her go through a lot of this, say hi to everybody that's there, and then we'll talk a little bit about what we seen. What's bad about for us is we have no connections here. We got a lot of you subscribers that are out here. A lot of you live here. One of them put us up here with our RV and stuff, gave us electric and water. So we appreciate that. Just got done eating dinner with him, saying bye to him because we head out on Monday. So
don't know how busy we're going to be tomorrow.
So we have, we've met some of you. One of our, I think it's Bill, that we met, that he's one of our subscribers, and he knows the mayor and the chief of police and a whole bunch of people that he could get us interviews with. So that'd be really neat that we can get that set up if we come back next year. And it was Ron.
Ron. Yeah. What's his name? Not Bill.
No, I thought it was Bill. You got the card.
I know. I'm pretty sure it's Ron.
And so we met him, and he said he could help us out. We met the owner of
Tower Hill Tavern.
Yeah.
Anthony.
Yeah, we met him, and he said he would work with us and help us out. He said, you don't need to meet any of those other bar owners. I'm the guy in charge. He's getting ready to buy some more of the street. He's going to own like 2 blocks. So he said he would, if we come back, he'd be happy to set us up. We made a great connection up there with Castle in the Sky. They're actually going to do, which we'll even talk a little bit about that tonight. They're going to have a bike rally there during Bike Week next year. So we'll tell you a little bit about what they're going to be doing. And so it's kind of neat. So we're going to be helping. If we don't come, we're still going to help them out and get that going for them. The antique bike ride, that if you watched that video yesterday, I know a lot of people may not want to see something like that, but
it's cool.
But you got to look at what the antique bikes now, vintage bikes. This is it. When these guys are gone, us and older, that's it. very few younger guys or girls are taking old vintage bikes and restoring them. It's like the one we seen at when we were out there. Is it Watkins, the Wilkins, the Harley dealer out there in Vermont. That guy pulled up on that Harley. We didn't get him pulling up, but we got him to leave in town. He drove from Connecticut on that thing. I think 1916 or 1917.
I think it was 17.
And so it was really neat. And that to me, I like that.
It's snowing up there in Mount Washington.
Yeah. And Zoil Adam wants to go up tomorrow. We're not going to go with him. And but he wants to go up there, but I don't think they're going to have it open tomorrow either. And we'll talk about that a little bit too. I was very disappointed in Mount Washington.
Charlie says not unusual for this area.
No, which is not. And so first off, we will highly compliment the weather that we've had here. It has been excellent until today. So, but I mean,
most of the day it was just cool. But it rained a little bit this morning, but the majority of the day was clear.
Well, it was in the 50s.
Yeah.
And you had wind and stuff. There was some gusty winds out there today, and it's a cool wind. We've seen a few people riding around in T-shirts.
And no gloves. Oh my gosh, I bet their hands were
But I mean, if you live here,
you're probably used to it, I
guess.
This
is probably a warm day normally to you. But for us being in the desert and all kinds of other things, somebody wrote something.
Vintage bikes or bike fit. Yeah, he liked it.
That's my favorite. Somebody got blocked. It disappeared when the thing got blocked.
Mike, did you block somebody? He's the only
I don't know, maybe they pulled it off themselves. I don't know. It was there for a second and then it disappeared, so I don't know, maybe they took it off themselves. There's keywords now that you can't say, and so if you do get blocked, you may have to change what you say.
Who's warmer temperature, Bob and Tam or Neil? Yeah,
I don't know. Neil's been having some pretty good weather up there.
He has been.
So probably not that well. It's still the middle of the day for him.
And then Cindy's on. Cindy Van.
And if you're on Facebook, if you click right above it there, if you haven't gone full screen, it's StreamYard. It's a different color, blue or red, whatever color it is. If you click on that, gives them permission to put your name on our channel.
Use the name. So
they're not selling you nothing.
It just won't say Facebook user. It'll actually have your name up there.
So this is a second party that I pay for this, so it's all private. There, none of this information
goes on. The logo. Did you say the logo was still the old logo?
No, I've changed most stuff. The only things that weren't changed yet was the Facebook or the YouTube page. The Kimberly, our daughter, fixed that for us.
Okay.
And the Facebook or the website is getting very close. We're pretty much
thanks to Redirex.
The front page is pretty much done. We're going to probably change the girls there because we're going to get our
own girls,
our special girls, to be the thumbnails. And so it's going to be kind of neat. And we're going to have a new store in there. We're going to have a bunch of neat stuff. We're going to have a newsletter that we're going to start. Somebody's going to write up and talk about. Newsletter will probably have a lot more stuff about what we do that you don't really get to see. Like maybe she'll write like the trip that we're taking now to across the United States next 10 days. You're not going to see a lot of that on video because I figure most of you really want to see motorcycle content, and we're not going to be riding a bike, probably not pulling it out of the trailer at all for 1 day. We're not going to do that unless we had to go someplace. Like if we have to go meet somebody, not a vendor or a factory that I can't get in with a trailer, maybe we'd pull the bike out to go meet them, but very doubtful because it's just a pain to get it in and out of the trailer. But not. I love the biker bar, but we got the golf cart in here. Everything gets really tight in here, and it's just a kind of a pain moving stuff in and out.
Yeah.
And you got to jack the truck up and all this, and so all kinds of exciting.
It's a lot of work. So focus on classic and vintage choppers. Got it. Next, please. So 105 heat index with humidity. Not too bad today. Oh, that's
down
not too bad.
in Myrtle Beach.
That's in Myrtle Beach. So Gary D says hello. Behind the scenes, he loves it. He thought that'd be a good idea. Approved by Palmoto emoji post.
Yeah. And
there was a few questions. What did Mike, I think, asked one? Quick poll. Oh, who's warmer? No, there was something else he asked about Laconia.
But if you guys have questions, you can jot them up here, and she'll kind of keep track of.
I need to write them down. I don't have a pen and paper. I don't know. I have no idea.
She's very unprepared tonight.
We just walked in the door like 2 minutes ago.
Well, it was 5 minutes ago.
No. Well, then he's telling me, get this guy.
Had enough time to pee. Got to get the computer on. Got to get that internet. I fixed your drink.
Thank you.
Dog's hacking up along over here.
Yeah, he got
He's
a
been
drink.
smoking today.
I don't know. He probably needs to go to the bathroom. Go down the wrong way, Charlie. Even those, I don't know. I don't know who asked. Somebody asked a
I don't know.
question.
If
that
you
I
got
was
another
gonna tell
question
you.
and we missed you, come back and you can ask it again because she can't find it and there's no use keep digging through
Oh,
all
do you
this.
think there's going to be a 101st Laconia Rally?
I would probably say yes. I don't think it'll go away, but it may change a lot because they're going to lose. Well, it just depends on the economy too. You know, interest went up 6%, but I watched a thing this morning that says it's not stopping people from applying for loans. Well, one of the bank people said they already seen a loan go through on a big house for 7%. So I'm not looking to buy nothing at that kind of interest. But I mean, it used to be. My parents bought their house back in the 70s and paid like 12 or 18% for the house payment, but it was only $200 something back then. So
because the house was probably only like $15,000.
It was $18,000 at the bottom. Brand new home we had.
So Kenneth Olson said you should stop at where? I don't know. He didn't finish the question.
And so
it was awesome to meet you guys. Thanks for all your videos. The videos with the old bikes were awesome. Thanks in advance. Thanks for your advice as well.
Yep.
Working on what video I've got. There you go.
And we're always happy to do that. Anybody that is thinking about a YouTube channel, you want any advice, we're happy to give out that. We've got no secrets. We'll tell you everything we do. Just like we've got YouTubers that have helped. We've had YouTubers help us. You can't be us, and I'm not going to be you.
Everybody's got their own personality.
I had somebody that watched Amsoil Adam one day, and we did one where we opened the trailer door and walked out, and the camera was outside. And the guy said, "Oh, you took that from Adam's videos." Actually, I told that up to Adam to go watch another video that's called the Van Wives. They are the expert
they have
in videos. They're two gay women, lesbian women. I don't know if they're married or not. They're from Canada, and they're not so much now. But when they were traveling, they were excellent. They put one video out a week. And they're probably the best editing I've seen for videos. And that's what they do. So yes, everybody does somebody's style. Like one time somebody came up to me, but they put it in a comment on a Facebook page that I post that they said, "Oh, you're the people that steal everybody's ideas." And I'm like, you have no idea. Nobody steals anybody's ideas. Just like us, we're going to go film rides and stuff, and some of the places we go to, maybe there wasn't a YouTube video on it, but maybe somebody will watch our video and say, you know, hey, I could do something a little bit different because I know that road better than what they did.
Yeah.
So when they redo that video, they didn't steal it from me. And people do this all the time because actually the people that trained us, they didn't really train us. They gave us information. Yeah, they helped us out. But one of the things they said to find content is go join a bunch of people that are very small YouTubers. Somebody like Charlie. Okay, he puts a video out and he's going to get a couple hundred views. Okay, I could take that same content now, rewrite it, put it back out, and I might get a couple thousand views on that. Did I steal it from him? No, but actually his video might come back up again because we've done similar content. So yes,
they'll start recommending his maybe, and then somebody that's bigger than us might see ours, and then they'll take ours, and they might get 20 or 30,000 views.
It's like we said the other night that Prime Cut Pro. For those of you who have checked him out, he's different. And I put videos similar to him too, and so does Amsoil Adam. All of us are kind of in the same thing. When you're dealing with motorcycles, you're kind of got the same content off and on. If you actually watch Prime Cut Pro and Awesome Documentary, they stand right next to each other when they film. So you may see a lot of their same stuff. Like they filmed the back of our bike with our name on it, and they're going to give us some shout outs probably sometime in the next week. But they put a couple of videos out while they were here. He has never done that. So is he stealing my style? No, he's just putting some different content out that you guys might want to see. So it's not that big a deal if somebody like Adam had a video come out that got 10,000 views. He's giving away a drone. He's having a drone. I don't know if it's over or not yet, but
he's got to hit 10,000, I think.
No, he's giving that drone away now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, the Love Jugs is the 10,000. Oh, okay. So he just broke 7,000. So he gained a few more subscribers. Cool. We're within about 100 or so of breaking 700, or 800. I guess 800. We're still trying to get to 17,000. We're a couple hundred away from getting to that.
To 18,000.
Nice. Yeah, to 18,000 subscribers, which would be nice. But I mean, subscribers don't get us any money. It's the views that do all that. So I don't know. You got anything else you want to ask before I go into talking about
Deborah
Laconia?
Said Laconia is a long way from Missouri. She's the one I think that lives out in Kansas City, I believe. Is this right, Deborah? Because I thought Deborah, somebody else was you. So I don't know. I think I got you mixed up with somebody else. But anyway, is it you and Steven? Or you and Steve? And then She wanted to know, is it really worth to come to Laconia, or should she just stay in rallies around her own area?
Have you been to Sturgis?
She's the one that we ate the chicken dinner with, I think. In
yeah,
like
that would be my first thing. Sturgis is probably closer than coming here. Which it is.
Sturgis
no,
is baby.
I would not. If I couldn't have had a place here to stay for free, we wouldn't have came at all. It wasn't worth that. To travel the distance, for us, it's like 2,800 miles to get back to Arizona. So if we drove from that property to here, and I don't know what Sturgis is. How many miles driving to Sturgis? I think it's close to 2,002, isn't it?
No, from Arizona?
No, from here to Sturgis.
Yeah, it's like 20. I don't know. 2,100.
So would I drive from Sturgis to here? No. To see this rally? No, it wasn't worth that. But that's why you see people here. We've met nobody that's any far distance from here. Most of the people are all states that touch here. There are some Canadians that came down
from Massachusetts,
but Canada is only like a couple hundred miles from here.
400 miles.
When I talked to one guy, he came all the way from Quebec or something. He said it was a 600-mile ride. I'm like, really? Oh, I didn't realize we're so far north. It's not that much farther, and we'll be in Canada here. So we're going to be riding along the coast.
1,943 miles from here.
It's almost 2,000 miles. So yes, I wouldn't come to this rally, but I mean, I would do the same thing. I wouldn't go to Myrtle Beach either. The only reason I went to Myrtle Beach is because we're already in Daytona and Panama City. We're already on the East Coast. So yes, would I have come from Florida up here? Probably not. But what's different is Florida has no place to ride, and at least here you've got some places to ride. So yes, there's. But from Missouri, no, because Missouri's got some great riding. I rank this a lot with Missouri riding, but there's more of it here. The whole freaking state is big trees and good roads and stuff to ride on, things to see and stuff like that.
Really pretty.
So it's very similar to Missouri, but you have to get to the Ozarks and Lake of the Ozarks and things like that to find that good riding in Missouri. Well, I would go to the Lake of the Ozark before I went to come out here.
Mike says he's going to do Iron Mountain as a wheelie the whole way. Nobody's ever done that on YouTube before.
Nope. I'll be happy to be there when you do it.
Yeah, we'll film you, Mike. There you go.
And when you fall, I'll film that too. We'll make a laughing video at the end. We'll make you go backwards. You fall over and you're, woo, okay. Did you hear President Biden fell today on his bicycle? I think it was yesterday or today. I just couldn't believe it. I had to show her. We don't really watch the news. It just came up on my feed when I was looking at my videos and stuff. It came up and said, thing. And
Charlie, come over here.
It was actually a news company because all the news people were there, right? Charlie. Get over there, Charlie, and lay down. He's being a pain in the butt. So, yes.
He wants attention.
So we'll talk a little bit about the rally. If you've got questions, you can ask.
Yeah,
and
so Deborah says she's been there 5 times to Sturgis. She'll definitely go back to that one.
So yeah, so you've made that trip, and it just kind of depends on what you want. To me, the second, like this next year, we plan on doing Sturgis for sure, and the goal is we're planning on doing Daytona again. The reason I'm saying Daytona again is because there's still a lot of things in Daytona that we haven't really spent the time checking out. Now, we do know now we're not going to deal with Daytona anymore. We'll be dealing with Ormond Beach. Maybe we'll get the mayor and a bunch of things like that. Maybe we'll get the sheriff that we didn't get this year. Maybe we get him the next time we go down there. The Rossmeyers bent over backwards for us. They were very helpful to us, and they love our videos. So we've got some better connections and stuff that we have down there. We actually didn't get to meet with Steve with the Iron Horse, but that's okay. We'll see him in Sturgis. And he's going to fix a lot of things up for us that we had a little trouble with some of their venues, because they used to have a guy down in Daytona that was called Big Steve, and he had a motorcycle wreck, and I think he had a heart attack on his motorcycle, didn't he? Or a stroke on his motorcycle. And sad. He was a great guy. We just met him. He was on our channel.
And he died doing what he loved, riding his bike.
Died on his bike. Yeah. So what a better way to go. And he didn't hurt nobody. He just went off the road. So
Charlie says that lots of New York, Vermont, Maine, Massachusetts, and neighbors from Canada make the majority up of a rally, but all are welcome, he says.
Yeah, which it is. So that's what it's more of a local type thing. Some of the other rallies we go to, Myrtle Beach, I don't know. Stephen would have to say maybe something about that, how far people go. But we know, like for instance, Daytona, which is really weird. But I think Daytona does the people that they have is because it's the first rally of the year. So all these people along the coast here, Maine and New York, and all these people, they head to Florida for Daytona Bike Week. Why? Because they want to get the heck out of the snow. Now we do. So we see people. We've even, one of our subscribers last year drove all the way from California to Daytona, which me and Art wanted to do that. I never could get Art. We never get the time off. You need a little bit of time to get that far.
Yeah, that's a long ride.
We're not looking to do, 1,000-mile days. We're just, I ride to enjoy my ride. I'm not looking to break any speed records. I'm not looking to do 1,500 miles in a day or 2,000 miles on an iron button, do it for 24 hours riding. I'm not that. I don't really care. I ride a motorcycle because I like to stop wherever I want to stop, and that's what I hate about not traveling on the motorcycle like we do now. If you ride the coast with me in California, I will show you where you can see dolphins. I will show you where the sea lions are mating and the babies are all there. I can show you thousands of elk in a park. I can show you all this stuff because I know where they're all at.
When you have to stop and push cows off the road.
Yeah, done that too. And so that's part of the adventure. And see, that's when people ride bikes and they're like, oh, I'm going to Sturgis and I'm going to do it from Florida and I'm going to do it nonstop. Well, I guess if you really want to get there first, yeah, okay. But to me, it's the adventure on the bike getting there. Now, coming home is a different story. When we go home, we just go straight home. We're tired, we're done, we just want to go home. But we stop a lot of times we stop. We went through the last time she rode, we went up all the way through California, went through Idaho, went through Idaho Springs.
Idaho Falls.
Neat place. If you get a chance to go there, that's a super neat place. And not great. I don't know if it's great riding, but the hotel we stayed at, it was just really neat. They had a creek or a stream or river or whatever right next to it. Had rocks. It was kind of neat. So,
I don't know how to say his first name. Ashnut Prepper wants to know if we went to Clark's Trading Post where they train the wild bears.
No, never heard of it.
Where they train with trained bears.
I think I seen something
about it earlier.
No, I don't think anybody's. I seen something somewhere on an advertising or something, but I didn't really get what it was. We don't normally, when we do rallies, we don't normally do the tourist thing because what I look at when we do this is we are working. We are working and doing a job. Like Rod that we were staying with, he said, don't you want to go up in the sky lift? They've got the ski lift. They'll take you up to the top of this mountain. They got a bar up there and you can have a restaurant. It's like, not really, because it's a tourist thing. And I'm not here to be tourist. I'm here to do more bike
but somebody
things.
That's here might want to do something like that.
Well, that's right. But I'm not.
But you could show
But
them.
we've done that. Like in Orlando, when we're killing times, we did a helicopter ride. We rode the 4-wheel drive bus and a bunch of stuff. Well, normally we look at stuff. Now the helicopter is different. But normally what we look for is, I'll be honest, people's got to give us stuff for free for me to do it. Just like going to the castle. I'm not interested in paying for myself $40 to go in there and film it. I'm not enjoying it. I'm filming it and documenting what's going on. It's two different things. It's like when I was an auto mechanic. I did not like to come home and work on my own cars. And if you're any kind of trade, you'll be the exact same way. If you're a plumber, you probably got pipes leaking in your house. If you're an electrician, you got wiring stuff going in your house that you should do that you don't want to do when you get home because you're tired of doing it. We know a lot of police officers that own motorcycles, and we're like, why don't you be a motor cop? And they're like, that's my fun, is riding the bike. I don't want to ride a bike
for a living
doing my job. And a lot of police officers we know that ride patrol bikes, especially up in LA and stuff like that we know cops, they do not ride, they don't have a motorcycle. They ride their bike at work, and that's the only, when they get done, they're back into a car. So
Mike says, which rally's better, Myrtle Beach, or Laconia? For riding, here, Laconia.
Yeah, but for the rally, Myrtle Beach is a better rally. Why? See, that section right there on Myrtle's Inlet is the party central. You got SB&B on one side, you got the Beaver Bar on the other side, you got a handful of vendors and stuff down there. You got all the restaurants a little farther down. Here, like right down here on Lake Street, that's a freaking joke. I walked through there last night, and it's like it's the same people selling the same freaking shirts all the way down, and it ain't no deal. Because I first thought there was $18 you could buy a shirt for $16 or two for $35. And they had them over the women's shirt, and I'm like, oh, it's not a bad deal. And then I got a little farther, and I looked, and I thought, no, that's for the guy shirts that are on the table. Her shirt, they wanted $35 for just a cheap ass T-shirt that they cut up. No. I go down to Willie, and for $5 we'll get a second shirt, and go down there and give him a $10 or $20 tip, and I got 100 times better shirt than some moron in China that cut it up.
So he said he'll he'll go to Daytona if he can put his bike on a train and get away from the winter up here.
That's right. And most of the people, I think, that go to Daytona, that's the reason they go, is because they're tired of the snow. Well, a couple people we talked to actually left Ohio in Daytona to go to Daytona, and they had to shovel the driveway to get their motorcycle out. They rode it through the winter.
It wasn't this year. It was last year when we went in the spring. I met two guys that were sitting out on Main Street, and they drove their bikes from Chicago, and they said they had to dig out their bikes, and like they had like 2 foot of snow on the ground, and they had to drive through all of that until they got like down in southern Missouri before they got out of the snow.
But I mean, it's crazy because think of all the gear you got to carry. This is like the Canadians that we see here. They all have their chaps on, and they got a lot of gear on because, you know, but a lot of the guys that ride around here, I even seen a couple guys riding around this week with shorts on, which is insane, but hey, do what you want. That's your bike. It's your life. It's your legs if you burn them. So we'll talk a little bit more. Did you get any more questions before I get into the show?
Eric said he's wished he was at the rallies and not working at Utah at the gas plant. So he's up in a gas plant. Cool shirt, Bob. That's Willie's tropical.
Yep.
Willie gave him that shirt.
Yeah. You get a lot of.
Yeah. Charlie said Laconia because it's the longest running rally. But I mean, for riding, it's here. There's no riding in Myrtle Beach.
Well, there's none in Florida either. And, you know, they got the loop. And, you know, if you've never been to Florida, then go down there and ride one time when you're down there. But once you've rode it, there's nothing down there to see. There's highways and roads. That's it. You can't ride along the coast. There's not that much coast riding. And mostly, like if you're going up to St. Augustine's and you're riding, up to St. Augustine's, they got the bluff there that 90% of the time you can't see over the stupid thing to see the water. It's stupid. But I guess because of hurricanes and stuff, because we're used to California and the beach, you can drive along and
it's always there.
Yeah, you're right even with the beach. And so it's a different kind of ride. Well, one of these days, if Art would ever retire or take a month off, and we go riding along California, and we'd show you some great stuff. I know there's a lot of guys. There's a couple other guys that go out and do a lot of riding there. I've spent a lot of time studying the PCH, and I know a lot of things, and I have not seen the things that I take people on when I go on rides up to California. The things that we've done and seen up there. I don't see the other people bringing those out. So, but I used to do a lot of studying. I would get on the internet, I'd read books, I bought all these books, and there's all kinds of things we've done. And but I didn't have a YouTube channel back there, so we had nothing to share at this time. Got a lot of pictures, but not.
Well, at first, Andrew said he wanted to know how the 45-degree in June was going over here. It wasn't, we didn't see a whole lot of bikes this morning, but as we drove closer into Laconia, there was more bikes.
Lots of bikes. But I mean, if you're only doing 30 or 40 miles an hour and you're running around town and it's 50-something degrees, and you're more blocked by the hills and the buildings and stuff, so you don't feel the wind. But like, so what day we took the truck out because we had to do laundry. We had probably 100 pounds of laundry we needed to do today. And so we weren't planning on taking the bike out anyway today because they thought it was going to rain. It didn't really start raining until just a few minutes ago while we were eating. It sprinkled off and all, but never really any hard rain. And so it rained a little bit last night. But we stayed in Laconia last night till 10 o'clock. So I got some good video, and some more girls and stuff showed up, and we'll talk about the week here. We haven't got that far yet.
How about Leesburg or Panama City versus Laconia? Is that what you're asking?
I think he's what difference between Leesburg and Panama City.
We haven't been to Leesburg when they said it's been like it used to be.
Well, the Saturday was really, but see, it depends what you want to do. Okay, Leesburg has got a great main street, and it's like Daytona. They got a great main street. Sturgis has a great main street. But is that what you want to do? Do you want to sit around and watch bikes ride up and down the street all day? You know, if that's what you're going to a rally for, then yes. Panama City doesn't have a cruising area. Okay, they don't have, so you don't have that. You know, there's kind of one here, but it's, I don't know, the traffic here is kind of weird. The way they've done that Lake Street's kind of a weird setup. And then they got that whole one section you can't even park on the left side. I don't really understand why.
For walking.
You got sidewalk. Why? What's the difference farther down then? Why did they have it blocked off all the way down on the left side? You can't walk. You still got to get on the sidewalk there.
Probably because of those stupid t-shirt vendors.
There's t-shirt vendors all the way down. So I don't understand why they have this one section on the left side.
Oh, I know why too. Why?
It's got nothing to do with the Hells Angels.
I was going to say that. No. Oh, they can park on that side.
No, they couldn't park on the left side. They couldn't.
That's where they were all parking.
Yeah, but right where they said no parking, Nobody was parked in that whole long strip there. When we walk out of that bar, their shop is there. They were parking across the street, and you can watch the video. They didn't have special parking there. Now they held some for themselves, but they didn't have no parking signs there. Stephen or Charlie will know what we're talking about. When you first go down the street to the left, they've got a whole section there where there's bikes. Some bikes are parked, and then all of a sudden, where they start letting all the bikes park on both sides, and in the middle, the one whole left side for probably, I don't know, 100 feet, 200 feet, 500 feet. I don't know what it is. I didn't measure it. But I walked down it. There's no parking there. And I don't, unless it's for deliveries or something, but I mean, we've seen, what?
RV Biker 18, which used to be Adam Rugg, says next year you could do Route 66 with him and his brother. They're going to take 2 weeks and ride it.
2 weeks is not really enough time. See, I have to stop at all those little towns. We used to spend just taking Route 66 from Los Angeles to Laughlin, Nevada was a whole day ride. It's a 4-hour ride normally. We take 8 to 10 hours to ride old Route 66 because we stop at all those little places because that's the part of the fun of Route 66. So I got to stop at the TVs. I got to stop at all the stuff. And I've been watching these guys. I have people we watch YouTube videos on that don't have motorcycles, but they travel Route 66. And that's another one that I want to do too. But I don't really want any plans. I don't want to book hotels ahead. I don't want to do nothing. I want to do what the carpetbagger does. He calls it roulette. He goes to price line and takes the cheapest one, and that's the one he buys. And he calls it Motel Roulette. And it's pretty good. I don't know why I like it when he used to put it on videos because he'd go in and say, "Okay, let's see what this room looks like now." Oh, there's no hair in the sink. That's a good sign.
So Charlie says he's not sure what space was open this year where you couldn't park.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a big section, but I thought it was mostly so people could walk because the sidewalk isn't very big.
But then you would think it would be all the way down that way then, but it's not.
So Arthur Dodgen says, "Happy Father's Day early, Bob." Hi guys from hot Dallas, Georgia. Woo, Rick Rains. How hot is it down there? Look, there's Rod. Rodzilla joining the crew.
Yep.
Did you finish your pizza?
And okay, right. So we'll talk a little bit about Laconia now. So we actually got here. What day did we get here?
The 7th.
So we got here 7th. What day of the week was that?
Like a Tuesday, I think.
Okay. So we got here on Tuesday. We got over the rods. Had a little trouble getting in the spot. We ended up parking in this cul-de-sac at the end, dead end street. We just couldn't get the big old trailer down the driveway and had a heck of a time getting it out.
Here Tuesday the 7th.
So that was pretty much, that's all we did that day is do that. I think the next day, what day did we go over to the dealership?
I thought that was Thursday. Might have been Wednesday and you put it up Thursday.
Yeah, it could have been. So we went over to the dealership. It was
kind of rainy that day.
Yeah, so we spent all day. We drove the truck over there too.
Yeah.
And so we drove over there, went into Vermont. First time we'd ever been in Vermont. And I went over to the dealership, and we pretty much spent all day there because the owner was out on a run, and he got another run, and finally he showed up right at the end, and he's on the video. And he's the guy that actually invited us out. So that was really neat, and I really like that. It was a really great dealership, and I highly recommend them. They sell their bikes at market suggested retail price. They don't add anything to their bikes that they sell. They bend over backwards for the customers. We're going to do a video on this about dealers, what you should look for when you buy a motorcycle. Actually, I'm asking him to write me a list too of what he would suggest, and we're going to do a video. One of the first things that I do when I go to actually, there's 2 things I do when I go to the dealership. I look to see how soon somebody talks to me. I come in and I just stand there and wait for somebody to say something to me, either hi, bye, kiss my butt, whatever they want to say. Next thing I do is I watch them sell a bike or talk to a customer. I stand back about 4 or 5 bikes and I just stand there and look. And I stand to where the salesman can't see me. And I listen to how they discuss the bike sale, how they are. And I won't go through all that because that's going to be a video. And so we'll explain all that. And that's how I determine. Those are 2 of the things that I look at how I recommend a dealer to start with. I also look at you guys when people tell me, just like at this dealership, there was a young guy out front said he's already on his 4th bike that he's bought from there. A couple other people we've talked to there.
He didn't look that old. I would say mid-30s.
Yeah. So I've talked to several other people that were there that said, this is a great place. Some of you have come on our channel that have watched the video. Maybe, I don't know if you're subscribers or not, that said they had bought bikes from them and had great service. we actually found this dealer from one of you guys had a bad experience with them. So that's what got us talking to this dealer in the first place, because when I did a little homework on it, I found out they had been in business for so long. I'm like, I can't believe the same family, they would treat these people this way. Well, it ended up being a really big misunderstanding between the subscriber and the dealership. Both parts kind of dropped the ball a little bit in this situation. But the dealership came back with to me, a very good compromise to make it right. And we pass that on to the subscriber, and then at that point it's up to them to make the decision or whatever they want to do. And that's what they did. And we didn't follow up anymore after that. That was kind of the end of that conversation. So my next thing was, after we had talked to him, he said, hey, come on out to us, and next time you're in the area, we'll give you a red carpet treat. He was going to buy us lunch and everything. We already ate, because she wanted to have, what did you want to have when we went over there to eat?
Where? I wasn't
Vermont.
listening. Oh, their syrup from the maple trees.
So we wanted to go have pancakes. So we asked them. I got to do that video too. 104-year-old restaurant, same family. I'm so really glad one of the salesmen there recommended us to go over to this dealership or this restaurant, and it was well worth it. We met an old guy there, which I should have turned the camera on, but you would never been able to hear him.
He didn't talk.
We talked about it on live. About it. And we'll talk again when I redo that video, because we're going to do a video just for that restaurant, because it was, if you're ever in that area, you got to stop there. It is well worth the stop. I would drive 100 miles to go there to eat. It was that good. And that the experience was
that's where
priceless.
I had my Moxie soda.
Yeah.
And I still got one left. I don't know if you're keeping that for the bar, or do I get to drink it?
Put it on the bar.
We should have bought more then.
And so maybe somebody will send you. We got our new address on our
Sturgis
on
address.
Our
website
at the bottom is the address. I haven't decided to put the phone number on, but I put the address down there right now. So we do have a mailing address now.
Yeah.
If you want to send a letter or send something to us, you can send it there, and we'll get it in time. So
not on video. Somebody asked if we've Adam or RV Biker 18 says, have you ever done Four Corners? Yes, we have. Or the Grand Canyon? Yes, we have. But we've not done it through a YouTube channel. We didn't have a YouTube channel at that time. When we did Four Corners, we were really close, but we hadn't started it yet.
And we rode our bikes to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
You rode your bike too? Yeah, you rode your bike too. I think you had your bike that time. I think you did.
I don't remember.
Because that's when Laura had explosion.
Yeah.
I think you had your own bike.
I don't remember.
I think you did. So, but yeah. So,
delicious.
Yeah.
It was good.
So that was kind of our first thing that we kind of did when we came to town. Maybe that was on Wednesday, because Thursday I think we went into Laconia to do videotapes. So yeah, Wednesday we went to the dealer. So we got here on Tuesday. Wednesday we got up and we headed over to the dealer. Check that out. So Thursday, it was kind of rainy here on Thursday before the rally started. Kind of rained most of the day till like 1 or 2. So we went over to the dealership, and that's where you seen that video at. We kind of went in. The girl that's in charge of the rally was actually at a press conference, and we kind of hung around a little while, and she never came back, and that was kind of the end of the story. And so we didn't really, and the girl at the counter, remember what her name was? She sent me an email.
Alina, I think, or something.
She was
like that.
Very helpful.
Oh yeah.
She actually told us about the Yankee bike rig and gave us a lot of really good information. She wouldn't go on camera or nothing, but that was fine. But I didn't film anything at that time in the dealership, because they had pulled all the bikes out, and it was a mess. And they had all the clothes, just racks all signed up, and they were just kind of inventorying, putting the sizes together. So we didn't really do nothing in the dealership at that time. We walked outside, and the only people that we seen, which we didn't talk to them, was KST was there. Cyril was putting their stuff together. Well, Fairing Exchange wasn't there.
Yeah,
they were all closed up.
Well, there was nobody there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who was there was what I was saying. KST was there. Those guys were standing at the end of their tent, and Cyril was all setting up their stuff. I walked through their tent, and they waved. And we didn't really talk.
Already set up, but wasn't there. Yeah. And Fairing Exchange was already set up, but wasn't there.
So most of the bigger vendors had already had their stuff all set up. So that was okay. So that's what we kind of filmed there. And then we kind of went down and showed you where Speeds and all that stuff was at. I kind of walked. I didn't end up showing that video because actually across the street, which is on the drive-in side, there really wasn't much for vendors there. There was a guy on the corner there. I think he did LED lights. That was about it.
Well, that other Amsoil dealer was
but he was down at the drive-in. And that was about it for motorcycle stuff. People selling dog stuff there. I think CBD stuff. I don't know what all was selling. A bunch of junk, some carnival food. was down there.
There's a big, it was called Chop Shop. It was a big
bar.
tent. And that one girl, that's where she got painted up. And they said there was a tattoo inside, a tattoo place.
We were going to go in there, but there was a lot of HA on Saturday around. We'll talk about that when I get to Saturday. And so for that, so we did that video. You guys, if you've seen it, you didn't see it, you can go back and you can see what that is. So we kind of just got a little bit of stuff. So Friday, what did we do Friday? I don't know. Oh, we went out to, did we go out to, no, we didn't go out to.
Did we go for a ride?
Yeah, no, I don't know what we did on Friday. I have to go back and look at my video. I don't know what I did on Friday.
You have to look at Saturday's video to see what you did on Friday.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we didn't go to the Four Corners Rally. We just went to the Four Corners.
I've got friends that went to the Four Corners Rally and says it sucks. So we'll leave it at that. I rely a lot on my friends. And
thumbs up.
If my friends that ride motorcycles aren't impressed, then I'm definitely not going to be impressed. So that's that. Okay, let me go back here and find the video from Saturday.
Old age.
So let's see. So there's opening. No, it's opening
Emily
day.
Janes and Warren has great breakfast with some homemade bread run by lovely Heather. There you go. There's a good place to go eat. This is a good ride up here, and we have seen a lot of bikes come up through this way. Another good ride, which nobody really said, is the 118, which is called Sawyer Highway. That's a pretty nice ride, but
just like
going down is fine, but coming back the road's kind of bumpy. But it was a nice kind of twisty ride and stuff, so that was a good ride. And we found another.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. So I don't know what we did. So the other things that we did is we went.
What was the video for Saturday?
It looks like we had a live that day.
Oh, that was it.
So we were at the dealership. I don't think we were on the dealership on Friday because it was closed. Dealership did not open their stuff till Saturday, so we must have done something else on Friday. I don't know what it was. So opening day, which is be Saturday. So there we went down on the strip because we were having the bike worked on. So all day Saturday we were at Speeds with the bike. We got a great video that we're going to be putting up with that soon. I haven't edited it yet, but it'd be a great way if you want to put a cam in or know anything about that. Pretty much you could almost do it yourself. If you don't put the solid gears in, you don't need to have the one tool, but you do need a tool that pulls the bearings out and puts them back in. You don't want those needle bearings to fall out. So, but you could actually do it yourself. It really wasn't that hard. Pretty simple.
Debbie said that Stephen called the dealership out there at the Four Corners and said the rally's not worth coming to. It's at the dealership that's in town at Durango.
Told them that?
Yeah. And she said, we appreciated the information since they were coming from so far away.
And like I said, we've had some friends go out. We've even had
small. I
you look at I think there's a bar, and that's where everybody's at. And I've seen a couple of videos. If you go to YouTube, your best source is go look at YouTube videos. Even if it's a guy, like there's a couple guys that put videos out and their camera's like this. It's like, dude, get a tripod and just sit it on a tripod if you can't hold your camera still.
Or sometimes like he does during a live and he's like, oh, look at this. And it's like, woo.
Well, that's a live. But I mean, I know some of these guys probably don't have much for editing and stuff. But I mean, it's not that hard to put out some quality stuff. Like I say, if nothing else, get a tripod for your phone if you're shooting on your phone, because you can't carry your phone around without having. Is my gimbal in here? I think it's laying here on the table. Should have been there.
I don't know.
You talk a minute. Let me find my gimbal.
So ML wanted to know how we enjoyed parts of New England. It is beautiful up here. I love it, and it's very nice. It's so scenic. Like he said, any road you drive on, there's a creek running around the side of the road, and with the big boulders, and it's beautiful up here.
And we'll talk more about rides in a little bit.
So yes, I think we enjoyed it. I didn't mind coming up here.
And so here's a gimbal. You get something like this, you put a phone in it.
And how much does that cost about?
You can get them as well. This is a DJI that you can get this style one. This is the first generation they had for under $100. Well worth it. Then you can glide around. If you look at Amsoil Adam now, he doesn't have this one, but he has a gimbal. See how smooth he moves his phone? That's why, because he's got a gimbal. And he runs the gimbal with his phone. So if you watch he's really good at it. He's able to move his hand, because you can't just jerk it around. It'll still jerk around. But with this, it'll keep it nice and smooth when you're moving it. And I only use this at night, because my phone, it's the best for at night. I have a phone that I put, so if you looked at this thing to see how it would work.
demonstration time.
Yeah.
Show and tell.
That's right. So you turn the guy on.
We didn't really ride the coastline up here.
I didn't turn the phone on. It's not going to work. Without turning the phone on, that takes a while. So you put it on, and so what you would end up doing is you'll have the phone this way. I might even have it upside down. I probably do. It's got to go in the right way. Makes a difference. So it goes this way.
So anyway, no, we did not get to ride the coast up here. I don't even know where the last part we saw the coast at. I guess
Myrtle Beach, probably.
Because it was the Potomac River. Does the Potomac River? That's not really in the Atlantic coast.
So it does this. So when you're moving around, and then you got controls here that make it move. So this is if you've got thinking about filming stuff and putting it on YouTube, and you're going to use your phone, get a freaking gimbal, and don't kill people, because when you have a I clicked on a whole bunch of people's today that have like 20 subscribers, 50 subscribers, 75, and that's what it is. They're holding the phone up like this, trying to film, and that's what it looks like, just like me moving the camera around. That's what it looks. And you guys see it, and it's like, tell them when you see stuff like that, say, dude, go get a gimbal, go spend $100. If you don't want to do that, then don't post it for everybody to see. Put it private and send a link to your friends, and they'll see it.
So yeah, Charlie said it was Sunday. We were at the dealership, and that's where he saw me in the showroom.
Okay, so that's when we did our live. So Saturday was we did Speeds was there, and then we went down and walked on Lake Street. I guess that's what it is, Lake Street, Lake Road, like something. So we walked all along that, and we walked all the way down to the end and walked back. We didn't ride the bike down that day, and we walked across the street. We walked up and down that, and that was it. So that's the video that we put out on Sunday. So then Sunday we did the live, and we were at the dealership there, and we kind of hung around there and talked to some of our vendors there. We're not putting a lot of vendor stuff up anymore because you guys seem to get bored with that. So we're not talking as much as we did before on other videos, but I talked about that today, that we probably should start explaining stuff more than versus just showing you stuff, like saying, hey, we're at the dealership and here it is, and this is where it's at. So, because if you're sitting at home, you're like, oh, here's the dealership. Where the hell's that at? Oh, now you're over here. Where the hell's that at? Where's that compared to this, to that? So we're going to fix that.
Thank you, Jerry, but we don't need anything. But if you bring something for Charlie, I'm sure he'll appreciate that. It says it's coming from Chattahoochee. He's the one that he saw his trailer in the background at Kathmandu, not last year, but the year before, and he's going to be there again.
Okay.
So he's coming from Chattahoochee, Tennessee. I like that.
Bring us some Tennessee whiskey.
Oh.
Just for my bar. I don't drink, but...
if Bob and Tim get 20,000 subscribers by the end of the 2020 rally, we will get their logo tattooed on my shoulder and share their videos to all your social media.
There you go. Mike's putting a challenge out there.
There you go. You want to see Mike get our logo put on his shoulder. Oh, I couldn't imagine that.
Loyalty there.
Same as I have.
So then what we ended up doing is on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday is when we went out and started doing some riding. We didn't come into town at all for any of that. So our first ride was we went out and did the loop. That's going around the lake. It's about, I don't know how many miles it is, but it takes about 2.5 hours. And it took us a lot longer than that because we were, I'm just saying, we stop at different places. We look at stuff and it wasn't what I thought it would be. But I mean, it's a loop's a loop. But when we actually got about halfway through it, I guess we were at the ice cream place. We did a live from there. Yeah. And I showed all those bikes going by on a ride. They actually said the best way if you do the loop there at the lake, go clockwise. So you're looking at a map this way and you want to go this way. So clockwise. And after I thought about it, I go, well, we are going clockwise. That's pretty good. Well, on the one side of the lake, right, which is on the Laconia side, it ain't crap to see. You see the water every now and then. That's about it. It wasn't much of nothing. It was just a ride. Well, when you got to the other side, you were on the water a lot of the time. So it was kind of neat. It was all right. The only thing that I am disappointed, well, especially here, which is really weird because this is the season for this area. Because I assumed, which I assumed wrong, that this is a ski area, snowmobile and all that, and that it really does boom in business here in the wintertime. And they're like, not really. They're all up north. That up there where we went and did some of the rides up there, that's where everybody's at. Nobody really comes down here and stays for the winter. So this is the summer. We're past Memorial Day now. So my point would be, why all these stupid places here, these businesses, what the frick are they closed for all the time? I've never seen so many restaurants and bars and stuff like that. Independent. That you go through these little towns and it might as well be might as well take the freaking sign down telling me it's a town, because there's nothing open. And you just drive through and it's like, okay, did a tornado come through here? Or did they all die from COVID, or what? What happened? But it's just, so it took us, it'd be hours before we could even find a place to get something to eat. And pretty much you're eating at gas stations or convenience stores. There really is
lots of delis out here.
Well, it's just a convenient. Well, we have that too. Where if you go into any of our grocery stores, they've got a deli section where you can get a sandwich or chicken or whatever they're cooking that day. So we've got them wherever we're at, but they don't brag and say they're a deli. And here they do. And it's really just, most of them are just a freaking gas station that has we call them 7-Elevens. They got the hot dog
rolling weenies.
And so that's, I was very, very disappointed with that. I'm also very disappointed that all these little towns, none of them really have gas. You ride out here, you better make sure you
got a full tank of gas.
Yeah, you start, when you see a gas station, if you've been riding for a while, you pull over and you fill up your tank, because it could be another 100 miles and you might not see nothing. If you're riding a Sportster, you're going to run out of gas. So that's just some things that I was disappointed about, was that these towns out here, I'm not used to seeing a town that, at least almost every town that we've rode through almost always has a gas station. Even on old Route 66, you don't go very far without running into a town that has a gas station.
Charlie says that he said clockwise, I should have taken you on my tour. We should have. Well, the Rod, the guy that we stayed with, he brought his bike out and he was going to take us on some rides. He was going to go on rides with us and kind of show us around because he knows the area. And his poor bike broke down. The stator went out.
Yeah, we couldn't get it fixed. Well, we're out here in the middle of nowhere, so he'd have to have the bike towed somewhere. He's got a friend that was going to work on it, but he was busy, couldn't get to it. So he brought the trailer. His wife just brought the trailer up tonight, and they'll probably haul it home probably by Monday.
Probably Monday.
They're probably going to haul it home,
yeah.
And then he'll get it fixed, and he'll be back. But I mean, stuff happens like that.
CC said that we missed 18 miles of some great coastline. And Charlie said we were really close when we were at Bentley's, but where Bentley's is, you had to go
north,
either this way or this way, and the ocean was right here, but there was not a road to get you to there.
Yeah, there was no, and that's, I think here's a lot like, well, see, we're used to California, and no matter what you say about California's got some, nobody owns the beaches in California. Okay, so I'm assuming this is just like Florida and Texas and all these other states we go to. The people that have the property next to the water owns the beach or the rocks or whatever's there. So you just can't stop anywhere and go to the beach. So we found an area to go to, which would have got us to the one and all that. And I looked at it and it said it took about 20 minutes to get there. It was a 12-mile ride, and it was already getting to be 4:30. And we knew from Bentley's to here was 100 miles.
Ride.
So it was
for me.
It was a 2.5-hour ride. Is what Google said it was. Plus, she wanted to stop and get off about halfway and stretch and move around a little bit so she could get off the bike when we got done. So it took us by about 3 hours to get back here. So we didn't want to be riding in the dark. So 4:30, we decided, what the heck, we'll head back. Which I would have loved to ride up. I love riding on the coast, but I like to see the coast. I don't want to be like in Florida. You can say, well, yeah, you can ride along the coast and see the ocean. Well, yeah. How long can you ride along the coast?
In between houses, if they're condos.
Maybe 5 miles. You get lucky. You can see it. There's a lot of along Daytona, but you've got that.
The Atlantic coast is better than the Gulf. Because when we went from Daytona up to St. Augustine's, it was all along the coast mostly.
Mostly, but you can't see it because they got that break wall.
Dunes.
And so you really can't see it. It's
so Mike said
but you're not allowed to touch any of those because they got barricades at all the little docks that go over that little hump, because the morons that live across the street pay money to somebody for their private little dock, and you're not allowed to walk across their little bridge.
Mike said,
once again, some more assholes in the world stopping us from going to the beach.
Mike says, one horse town and the horse died.
So, and then we got to meet I can't think of it. Broomhilda and Lurch at the deli we ate there at. I was going to say Boris and Morticia. That's what it was. Boris and Morticia was running the deli there. I put the thumbnail. I think it's called Bert's or Bart's or something there.
Bartlett, I think was the name of the town.
Well, the restaurant's called that too, Bert's or something, because I took a picture of it. That was the thumbnail that I used for the live we did that day. and that was that restaurant. So if you're ever in Bartlett or whatever it was, go check that guy out. Film it. Send it to me. We'll put it on.
Sounds like the good people in New Hampshire sure could use a Buc-ee's.
Yes, we could definitely use a Buc-ee's here.
Like I said, I mean, there's McDonald's and Burger King, but that's the only kind of chain restaurant up here.
And most of now we did find when we went over there to the antique bikes. What town was that? At the mall. Tilden. But they built that all up because the guy Rod that's here told us to stay away from that area because he says it's all the shopping's there, traffic gets nuts, the outlet mall's all there. There, everything was there. There was a Chili's, there was all kinds of restaurants
Hobby
there.
Lobby.
There was all kinds of stuff.
Like we found civilization.
Yes. So there it is here, but
you just gotta find it.
Yeah. So, but I mean, the rest of these little towns, I just
right here.
We've seen. Well, I only seen one Subway. She's seen another one too. So she's seen.
But they're usually in a business. They're not like at a gas station or inside Walmart or something like that.
In our little town that we have probably 5,000 people, we probably have 10 Subways.
More than that, I bet you there's 12. And then they're bringing in Jersey Mike's and what's the other one? Jersey Mike's. There's another Jimmy John's. So they've just brought those two in, and we've already got probably 20 Subways. So it's like
Mexican restaurants. We got 24 Mexican restaurants.
Laconia for the Hampton Beach is 70 miles. Take the 107 and then the 4 to the coast. It's gorgeous. And at the top of Ray's are PD's for seafood.
So we never made it to the beach, and we won't because we're leaving Monday. So we're not riding over there tomorrow. And it's Father's Day, so we're not doing that. And we're supposed to go with dinner, depending on what Adam Amsoil does, but it's also Father's Day. So that's why I told her, I said, if we can't get into a restaurant and plan on eating dinner by 4 o'clock, we're not going. We're not going. We'll eat before that, and we won't be with Adam. Adam wants to go up the mountain. And so that was the loop that we did. That's cool. That was the loop, and it was okay. It was an all right ride, but it was just a ride. I'll leave it at that. It was just a nice ride. Nothing challenging, nothing special. It was just a nice ride. So that was that day. Next day we got up, we went to Bentley's. So we went out there, we met downtown, we went with the city's ride or whoever put that on. You met down there.
Bentley.
And I don't think he went through the Laconia, whatever that little book was called. They called it the tour stop or whatever they call it down there, where you go to those tents that's got all their names all over by the boat on the other side of the train tracks.
Boat.
Yeah. So that it was in there and said the ride started from there. So we got down there, we met that Bentley, really nice guy. Would love to go back there and spend some time there. I think he'd work with us too and get us some good video and stuff there. Maybe someday we'll go back. Maybe I'll go back someday and we'll just stay there, and we'll just stay there the whole week.
We went to Hart's Turkey Farm.
Yep, that's another story. And so we can talk about that in a minute. But so we went. So there we went on that ride, and we left about 11 o'clock. We left.
Yeah.
11 o'clock, and we got over there about 1 or 2 o'clock. It was quite a ride. What they actually did, we didn't write the highways down, but what they did is they took us back up the Laconia side. No, we went on the other side of the water, the scenic side, went all the way up there, and then went across.
Went through Rochester.
Yeah, and went across that way. They said it was 70 miles, but it felt like more than 70. But I mean, I didn't clock the miles. But it was a nice ride. It was escorted all the way. Only time we ever had to stop was they had one place the police weren't in front of us because we got to where. Once we got a ways out of town, probably 20 miles out of town, the patrol cars were gone, and we just had the 2 cops in the front, the bikes. And so they would stop. Some of the times, some of the people, like, what's the name of the bar again?
Bentley.
Bentley was the first guy that stopped and relieved the first cop. And so then he was at the end. And then a couple other guys that were up in the front, they released the next couple of cops. We got moving all the way up. I was thinking we'd be up in the front, and we would have to stop. And but I mean, it was a really good ride. I like going over to the Bentleys. I kind of liked it that it made it look like it was full because they had a pretty good, it was probably half full when we got there. And then when we all showed up, then it was full. Now, how many bikes we had? I don't know. 50 bikes, 75 bikes. I don't know. Didn't count them. Everybody can look through the video and look at it. I don't think it was 75, probably maybe 50 bikes. But it was a nice ride. Didn't cost you anything. Food was really good over there.
Yep. I guess you got a hamburger. Surprise, surprise.
Fries were hot and good.
Yep. And I got a barbecue, I think pulled pork.
Yep. So we ate that. It was really good. Talked to several people there, very nice people that were there, and it was really nice. And
got to see Jasmine Kane. Got to meet her,
and she was on our channel too. So that was kind of neat. So that was kind of that day, and we got back. We left there about 4:30, so 5:30, 6:30, 7, probably about 8 o'clock. We pulled back in here, and so that was the end of that day. So we did go to Art's turkey farm. Not impressed. Now we went there and had the turkey dinner. We went there the day we went to and did the live at the Harley dealer. So it was Sunday that we went over there first. Now we never did go over, and then we never made it back over to J&P Cycles. They were in that parking lot there, and so was a couple other vendors there, which I don't remember who they were. We never did get over there to film any of that or show you guys any of that because we misunderstood. We thought that was part of Art's farm or Art's restaurant, but it ended up being the Harley, I guess, owns that lot. And there's a walkway between there. I don't know the lot.
You didn't see those steps?
Yeah, I never seen them. So we never made it back over there. Turkey dinner. We went over and had a turkey dinner. And we thought, that's what I told her. I said, we're probably never going to eat here again. So get what you want. If you want the turkey dinner tonight, go get the turkey dinner. Well, it was $18.95 for the 3 ounces of meat. So I get it, and it wasn't much there. And I've had more meat in a turkey in a TV dinner than I did in that. And they had mashed potatoes. They had some gravy.
I think you got mashed potatoes and baked potato.
Yeah, because you got stupid vegetables up here. You don't have no corn, no peas.
I do have to say they make excellent dressing up here. They use a lot of sage. That's what my mom used to make it because we stopped at a grocery store and he got a chicken dinner. And I didn't realize underneath all the chicken, there was another big old heaping of dressing. So I ate that the other day and it's the same thing. Oh, a sage dressing.
So what had happened was that's what they did. They put a lot.
There's a big clump.
And then your meat was over the top. So it looked like, wow, there's a lot of turkey here. Well, then once you took the turkey, the couple wasn't even a piece of turkey. It was just a bunch of little slivers of like what was left over in the pan. And they just kind of scooped it out and put it on top of it. So you moved it and it was a big old. First, they gave you a plate that's only about this. It's a weird long. It was longer than it was. It was the weirdest plate.
Oval.
We've ate at Bonanza and Ponderosas. They've kind of had those weird plates because they give you the wooden thing underneath it, and it was even smaller than those. And it was like, what the heck? And so she ate the dressing. I don't eat dressing. So then I ate a little bit of turkey, and it really didn't taste like turkey. It tastes like something that came out of a TV dinner. And the potatoes was all right. The gravy wasn't much. I'm not a big gravy guy anyway, but it wasn't to me. I didn't think the gravy had much taste. He asked her
on the side because he has light on the gravy. She's like, "I'll just bring you some on the side." Well, I should have asked her on the side because he got more than I did.
Have you ever ate at a Boston market? We have those out in California and Arizona. 100 times better than what this was. It wasn't. And then it cost. How much did we end up spending? We bought 2 turkey dinners. And 2 iced teas that came in a cup that was this big. That's how much tea we had in it. 1 drink and it was gone. And we're like, hello. Of course, the girl that was our waitress was in another room. And the 2 girls that worked that room were standing over at the counter, chewing fat or whatever.
And I was like, hello. I said, can you get our waitress or could you get us some more iced tea? And the girl walks over and she's like, what? Could you get us some more iced tea?
There's like us and another table and that was it.
Or get us our waitress.
Why we got that waitress, I don't know. Because we stood there for a while before it even came over to wait on us to start with. And so now we're sitting there and we're about done eating now. And she's starting to hear there's another motorcycle couple that came in, a younger couple, a little younger than us, probably late 20s. And they were over there and they were looking at the turkey dinners. And they were saying, do you have dressing on the side that we can get to go with the turkey dinner?
She was trying to figure out what 2 sides.
And she's like, oh, yeah, it's on the menu right here. And she's like, the turkey dinner comes with dressing.
I said, unless you want 2 helpings of dressing.
And the waitress goes, I didn't know that. Well, because they got this damn turkey spread over the top of it. She probably thought
it was a big hunk of turkey.
She don't eat that crap either. So,
This is New Hampshire's not known for its cuisine. Unless you like seafood.
There's not that many seafood places here. Not as many as what I was expecting. Yeah. But I guess people said you got to be more of in Maine. I just thought the whole East Coast would be just swarm. We have more seafood restaurants in California. which they don't even use the seafood from there. They bring everything from the East Coast anyway. They always say that fresh seafood, lobster. You know, freaking lobster out there in California.
Well, they tell you that in Arizona. There, if somebody goes into a restaurant, and they're like, "Is the seafood fresh?" We're in the middle of a desert. What do you think? Seafood is
They're
not
sand
fresh.
lobsters.
Sand lobsters. They're scorpions. I don't know. Turkey dinner. Well, that was my prom night. 3 ounces of meat. It wasn't. It. Well, you could get more meat, but of course the price went up.
Yeah.
I think it was 3 ounces.
6 ounces and 8.
And 8 ounces, and the 8 ounce one was like.
Then if you wanted white meat, they charge you another $4 or $5 for that, and we just said whatever comes with it. I'm not that picky with turkey. I can eat either. But I mean, I like smoked turkey. That's what we usually try to get. Our son-in-law makes it. We've had it in the fryers and all that kind of stuff. So, but I wasn't very impressed. I mean, they have a lot of food on their menu, and they might have some other stuff that was really good too.
Well, they had because he likes
French dip,
and they had that. And I said, well, why don't you just get that? And because I know he's not a big turkey person, and he's like, well, they're famous for their turkey. We must just get the turkey. Yeah. And I said,
that way I can't say I didn't have it. Won't be back, but.
What's the market or food? What Los Angeles was affordable housing. I know,
but
we always go.
Food's a hell of a lot cheaper out there than this year.
Oh my!
Which we'll talk about that where we ate today, and so that ended up. That's that. So our next ride after that was we did the ride. We went up there to what's the road called up there? Mangahugahaga.
Kangamungus.
Yeah. So we decided to go up there, and we're over here on the left side. We're in Warren. So we decided we go up the 3, hit the 93, and we would take the 3 all the way around the top, come back down, and then go across that road this way.
The 302.
So we were suggested to go to Mount Washington. So we're like, okay. So we get to the town of Lincoln. That's kind of where it all kind of came together at that Mango Road.
We ate
and the 3.
In Lincoln.
The 3 comes together, and so we're thinking, okay, there's a visitor center there. I should have filmed it. That's where if you watch the bear, that was where the bear was at. And we should have said that's where we were at, because that's just a neat place to go. They had a lot of good information and stuff. So we're in there talking to them about, is it too windy? Can we go up there and things like that?
Because we hear they close it down if it's
so
too
then the lady goes, oh, it's. I said, we also asked about if the free bikes were going to be able to be allowed, and I can talk about that in a minute. One of our subscribers. Free. Well, if they were
going to let the bikes up.
Yeah, that the bikes could go up, only bikes only.
Oh,
and so she got on the website and she was checking all of it and all this, and then she came back and said, "Oh, it's like $29." I said, $29 for what? And she said, "Oh, it's for bikes and cars. It's this price and that price." And I'm like, "What?" And she goes, "Oh, it's privately owned." I said, "A mountain's privately owned?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, and it's $14 for your passenger." And I'm like, "What?"
Like nobody said anything about it costing.
I'm not riding up no freaking hill to a top for $50 or $40, whatever the hell it costs. No, you people are morons to be paying that kind of money to go up there. There's a lot of scenic places you can ride that are higher than that. Then you can just get off your bike and look at it. You can go to Colorado. You can go to all these different mountains. You can go up to Vegas, rent your bike, and go up to Mount
Charleston.
Charleston. You can get up there too. You can get up there and barely breathe because it's so freaking high up. You can get pretty high on your bike. Watch the bears. They'll eat your bike. And don't leave any food in your bike. You got to put it in a metal can. But I mean, that's insane. Why are you people paying to do that? I can see these tourists coming through here in cars. Some people.
Well, they even charge, it's like usually a price for cars, right? And it's the price for that car to go in, no matter how many people's in it. No, they charge for every person in the car. No. They charge for the car and every person in the car.
And it's like, no.
They got a racket going on there.
And also in 2019, so it used to be they had 3,000 bikes go up a day when it came to Bike Week. So that's when they gave a couple days that they would say only bikes would go up. So then in 2019, they were asked in 2020 if, hey, what day are you guys going to have the bike only day? And they're like, nope, not going to do it anymore. And they're like, why? Because there's only 1,000 bikes. We didn't make enough freaking money from them bozos to come in up here, so screw them. We're going to make them fight with all of our tourists that are going up there and our crazy bus drivers that are coming down with the bus. So, no, they ain't getting any of my money. Screw them. And so, no, we're not doing Mount Washington, and I ain't missing nothing. I don't care what anybody says. It's not worth it. I've been in many mountains with my bike. I've drove through Yellowstone, all kinds of stuff. And to drive up a concrete road or an asphalt road to some viewing point at the top of a hill. They probably charge you for the freaking things to look through too. Screw them. They're not getting my money. It's a tourist trap. And this is that. I'm surprised they don't sell freaking t-shirts up there. After you get up there, try to sell you a bunch of more crap to drag down with you. No. And if you want to go, good for you. At least in the Badlands, which I badmouth all the time, it only costs you a few bucks to get in there, and you could have 20 guys in the back of your bike, and it's still one price. It's charged by the bike. Custer State Park, they charge you for the bike. They don't charge you for the passenger on the back. But there, at least I get to see something. I get to see some bison. I get to see the donkeys. I get some great riding. Go around Custer, there's some really great rides around. And they got a big visitor center you can go to, which we've never been in it. How did we go? We used the bathroom, I think we did. And they got rangers there that tell you a whole bunch of neat stuff. It's all for free. And yeah, so it's worth my 20 bucks. But to go into Custer, it's 20 bucks. Oh, then by the way, that gets me on Iron Horse. Not Iron, Needles Highway. Gets you on Needles Highway too for free. Because you pay one price and it's good for the whole week. That's anytime you go.
Are we done?
I'm just telling you. So then while we were on that ride, we decided that we want to go check out the clog. Well, we were very misinformed about that too. Oh, this whole trip, a lot of people told us stuff that we had no idea. Like that ride.
King Among Us
said that you've got to do that ride. It is better than anything. It's just as good as Iron Mountain, if not better. I'm still waiting. I must have missed something. It's a highway. It's not even a windy road. Oh, you got one jackknife.
They do sell t-shirts out there.
They really? There you
and go. Bumper sticker.
There you go. Screw you there, don't they? Where's my stickers at? Where'd you put them at?
They're in your cabinet where your t-shirts and stuff are.
Let me look and show you what we got for free, and we're going to give some of those to you.
There has to be better turkey dinner at the top of the mountain for $50.
You think? The hell, they didn't give me no Vaseline either.
Tell us how you really feel, Bob.
Where'd you put them at?
They should be there in the bottom shelf up along the side, on the left side. Do you see them? Yeah. Rant much, buddy. He's like, that was lifer. Yeah, full disclosure. So I never said any of this.
I think I got about 6 of these. And we're giving away for free. You didn't even have to go up the freaking mountain to get it either. They have them downtown. Give them away free. You can get them for like past years too, but I didn't want to do that. So we're going to give these away.
This year.
Yeah, 22.
99, 22.
So you can take this in back car.
Buck Reynolds. So, hey there.
So we went to the clog thing, which we had no. Well, here's how we were misinformed. So first we were told that was the best ride in the whole world.
There you go, Buck. And
so the next thing they said is, what you could do is, if you're kind of scared, sometimes what some people will do is they'll go up in the, the spouts or something, will ride up in the train, the clog train, and then you can ride your bike up the other side, or right up to this side. It's 150 freaking miles away from each other. You got to drive all the way around the other
side of the mountain. So the clog's on this side, and then the road to go up is on this side. So you kind of have to meet at the top. So if he would have dropped me off at the clog, then he would have had to go all the way around the mountain, then go up the mountain to meet me at the top to go back down. So
it ain't gonna work. I thought it was on the same place.
We thought the clog was there, and then you went up the mountain.
I guess the morons that own the motorcycle ride up or the driveway own one half of the mountain, and these guys own the other half of the mountain. Who the hell knows?
Because that was a wide range to get up there too.
So we go inside because it's like, nothing else. Let's just drive up there and see what we can see. Well, we did, you guys. If you watch that video, you see the train and stuff. It was kind of neat to watch them do that. And I didn't get much of it. They were servicing one of the engines and kind of panned across that. Couldn't see the smoke come out. It was really neat the way the smoke come out, but the camera didn't pick it up as good as that. So we went there, and so I decided, we'll go. Let me go look inside and see what the price is. They kind of told us at the visitor center how much the price was. Well, it was from $72 to $99 per adult. Well, I didn't ask because there were a bunch of people in front of me getting tickets. I guess they charge you by the pound. So if you're a fat guy, you got to pay $99. And if you look like a twig, you get $72. I guess, I don't know why is it $70. And she goes, well, maybe it's military. I said, no, if it's a military discount, it would have military, it would have senior and all that. Kids was the same way. Kids was like 46 to like 75. And I'm like, well, that kid's not a veteran, and he's not, He's not
so
senior.
A wide range of price.
And I don't no idea why it was. I really don't care because I'm not going to do it. But to me, it was just stupid. I think I filmed it too, so maybe I'll put it up in a video. That the difference in the price. And so we went there, filmed it. Didn't cost us nothing. We just filmed it. No big deal. So we were okay with that. It was neat to go see it. It was neat to see the trains come down the tracks. And she went down and filmed all that equipment. That was her filming that she did. And so it was neat. It was neat to see that. And then we went back out and we rode the rest of the way up that 3. And
that was the 302.
Yeah, changed the 302. So you start out on the 93, and that was a really neat ride too. That little bit of the 93, when you first get on there, it's got all those big mountains and rocks, and I think that's where the man on the mountain used to be.
The old man on the
mountain. His face fell off. Sorry.
But I did see another one. He was a littler guy, but I could see the eye and the nose, and it looked like an old man. I said, there he is.
I seen it, but it was way down low. But I mean, that was kind of neat. And then we got back on with the 3, and then you went up to, you said 302?
302.
And got up there. And we also, during that trip is when we also, is that when we stopped at the Castle in the Sky?
No, that was a loop around the lake.
Oh, so I missed that.
No, you talked about it.
No, yeah, but we didn't really talk much about
the castle.
Yeah. So we'll come back to that. So we went ahead and went up there, and then while we're riding through all that, it's getting late in the afternoon now. It's like 1 o'clock, and it's like, well, let's see if there's any place to eat along here, you know. So here's a restaurant coming up. Oh, it's closed. Nope, closed too. We drive by another pizza place. I said, well, if we stop at a pizza place, we're going to be there a half an hour waiting for them to make a stupid pizza. So we're like, oh, we'll just go a little farther. There's got to be some place along here to eat. I don't think I even seen a gas station. So we come in this little town. We're supposed to turn right on, what's the road we're supposed to turn right on?
Fair Notch Road.
And so I thought, it looks like maybe a little bit more of the town is forward. Let's go. Maybe we're lucky. We'll find a place to eat. So we pull up and it's got deli, Burt's Deli or Burt. It's B-U-R-T or B-E-R-T. I'm not sure. Deli and store. So we're like, okay, we pull up. There's a guy from the ranger, like a forest ranger guy. He has his truck there and he's eating out in the truck. And I'm like, hey, how's the food? He said, oh, it's pretty good. I said, it's probably pretty good because it's the only place in town, right? And he's like, oh, yeah, you're right. So we get off the bike and she's getting her helmet off and all that stuff. And so I'm standing, I look at the door and it says, no public restrooms. Well, you normally see that all the time in places because they want you to spend money to use their bathroom. And we haven't used the bathroom in a while. So we're like, okay. So then I look down below and it says, absolutely closed for everyone. Don't ask. Okay. So I come back and tell her. And then it says, dining room closed. I'm like, okay. Oh, well, no big deal. I guess we can sit on a motorcycle. It's not that hot outside. So we go inside and the old lady that was at the counter and she didn't say nothing. So we walk up and I forgot. Before we went in, there was a guy that had a big giant St. Bernard. If you've seen a quick shot of him, remember what the dog's name was? Big giant St. Bernard. He was in the truck. We seen him, but we didn't want to touch him around. He had the door open and window down. Another guy was petting him, and then the owner came out and he had ordered food. And so we talked to him for quite a while about his dog and all that kind of stuff. And so we went in and he was still waiting for his food. So we're standing at the counter and there's a guy in front of us. And it's kind of like the kitchen's back there and there's a countertop there and the menus up here on the top, and they had some paper menus too. So we kind of looked at that and we're kind of just standing there. And the guy's back there cooking. And never looking at anybody. So I'm about to go, hello, we're here if you want to take our order.
One order at a time.
So I walk back to the guy. He's back a little bit behind me, the guy that had the dog. And I go like, guy's pretty independent, ain't he? And he's like, oh, yeah. And so I figured that. So I went back out. I told her, I said, don't say nothing to the guy. He'll probably flip out on you. So we go out. And so I'm out on the bike and stuff. So she orders and comes out with the drinks, bottled drinks. And so when I was in the store, I was kind of looking around. And I talked about this the other day that I see they got lemonade and they have iced coffee in these glass containers that they sell like at, we see them at Best Buy, not Best Buy, but Big Lots.
Yeah.
And I don't think we got Big Lots out here or not. It's like a wholesale store. It's like a wholesale store that buys junk. And were there, and I'm like, where the frick's the ice machine at? Because we got our cups. We always try to pick up ice wherever we can. So I'm like, well, maybe we can get a little ice here for our cups to put those drinks that she just bought. So it's like, okay, don't see nothing. Well, I'm looking through the freezer and stuff, and here all of a sudden I see these plastic cups like coffee cup, not really coffee cups. I don't know what they call those. Those clear cups about the size of a
probably like
solo
a
cup,
16
like a
ounce
solo
soda.
cup.
Yeah.
Looks like a solo cup, but it's clear and it's got a top on it. It's got ice in it. But on the door it says only for lemonade and the iced coffee. Don't touch. So I told her, I said, don't touch those in that cooler. It's gonna freak out on you. So I go back out in the bike and I just sit there. So pretty soon, I think I walk back in to see what's going on. And the guy that we had the dog, which is a local guy, they knew him. He came back
like
in.
4 burgers.
Yeah, he got 4 sandwiches, and I seen the old lady come over to the cook guy, which I'm assuming is her husband, and said, "Hey, he needs this on it." Well, at that point, I walk away. You can do this part.
He says, he asked for him plain. He got him plain. That's why he gets him. Oh, he was all huffy and puffy. She said, well, he forgot to ask. He said he wanted mustard and relish on this one. So he gets it out and he squirts it on there and shoves. He's, don't leave. He puts it, gives it to her, and she takes off. So when he asks me, because he usually likes to put his own ketchup on, so I said, I want 1 hamburger with ketchup. That's okay. He's like, I can't hear. What'd you say? An hamburger
So
with
then,
ketchup?
so then we're inside there, and I'm just we're I guess I came back in for a while, and I look over there, and he's got one of those machines that kind of toast the buns, and so it's laying there, and the one's all burnt on the inside, and I'm like, oh, one of us is gonna get a burnt bun. It's gonna hopefully be you. I'm not eating it. So then I stand there for a few seconds. I walk back over there. He grabs the bun, throws it in the trash can. I said, well, we ain't got to worry about that. He cussed a few times.
Well, we didn't tell this part the other day. So when we come out, he marked the one. He's put ketchup on the one. So we get out and I open it up. I said, well, if he puts ketchup, because I don't like ketchup, if he puts ketchup on the one with cheese, you're going to eat the one with cheese. Well, it said, and he says, this one's got cheese on it. I said, well, then I guess you get to eat the one with cheese because there's ketchup on it. Well, it wasn't. He wrote on the wrong one. He's like, you need to go in and tell that guy you wrote on the wrong one. I said, I ain't going in there and telling him.
Then we're in there. So there's another guy behind us now, and he ordered, I guess when I was outside, because I was looking for a place to pee. Everybody else, all these Canadians, that's another part of the story, went behind the building, peed all over their building. I didn't want to do that. I just figured there's a house next door. I don't know if anybody lives there or not. So I'm just standing out there, and I'm just like, whatever. So I come back in, and there's some people that ordered chicken salad sandwiches.
Chicken salad.
And so while the guy's standing there, he's got his glasses, and he's like, I guess they're dirty, and he's trying to clean them. And well, they got no napkins. All the dispensers that are on the wall that just pull out, like they look like the ones you get at McDonald's, but they got them mounted on the wall. They're all empty, all through the store. There's no napkins in any of those things. So so he's standing over there.
Nazi.
He stands over there. So he walks to the edge of the counter over here at the end, at this end, and there's a sink there. I guess I didn't see the sink. And he looks at the guy cooking, and he says, "Can I use your water for my?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, whatever." No. And so he turns the water on for a second, and he gets the glass, and he there must have been a paper dispenser or something there. So he's got this little part of the napkin, and he comes around the corner, and he starts to do it. And here comes a lady. What'd she say?
Get out of the kitchen! You're supposed to be in the kitchen. Get out of the kitchen! It's like, oh my gosh.
And so he had asked. He wasn't in the kitchen, but whatever. So that was kind of like, that's when I pretty much went outside and said, I'll just be outside waiting.
Mike's New Hampshire saying his motto is live free or die. Sometimes it's just die.
So that was our adventure that day. So we get back on the bike after we eat, and the food was okay. It wasn't bad.
The hamburgers
and took my trash back in there and threw it away. I didn't know if they'd yell at that, but they did have a trash can outside the door. So we left. Oh, meanwhile, I'm standing out there waiting for the food, and all these Canadians come up. So some of them were talking French, and so I couldn't understand a lot of them. So I'm just sitting there waiting to pass out my cards. So they take all their leathers off and their chaps and all this stuff, and I'm thinking, I better tell them soon about what's going on in there. I think they're thinking they're going to go inside the restaurant and sit. So when one guy was talking French all the way through it, and I didn't want to butt in, I don't know what he's saying. So finally they stopped, and I said, hey, I just want to tell you, FYI, they have no bathrooms here, and you're not allowed to eat inside. And they're like, what? So pretty soon the guys slowly go around behind the building, which you barely get behind there because there's a creek behind there and some bushes. I assume they went back there and took a leak, and because they each went back there individually for a while and came back out. And so they never did go inside. And then they end up, because they asked us about something, but I was like, yeah, whatever, it's down the road. What they said. And so that was
say oui.
They might be watching. I gave them cards.
Yeah.
And so they left. I don't know where they ended up going to eat at, but they decided they weren't going to go in there and deal with the Nazis or anything. So they left. They lost some. They lost customers because of us. So that was kind of that.
Don't
so,
tell them.
Oh, are they going to come after us? And
didn't leave them a card.
we didn't leave no card on their bulletin board. So that was kind of the end. So then we got back out and we went down this really neat road. What was the name of the road?
Bear Notch Road.
Great road.
Because it said this way to the Kangamangas. So we were waiting to get on the Kangamangas.
Yeah. Lots of nice curves, a little bumpy at times, but overall it was a very nice ride. It was what I was expecting to be this
Kangamangas.
Yes. So we ride through that curve around, and I got a couple good shots. And if you watch the video, I show a little bit of that going around some of those curves. And so we get down to the Kangamanga. So we get on that, and I'm like, okay, well, let's ride for a while. And it's 2 lanes over there and 2 lanes over here. And
it was
looks
like
one. Was it 1-1? I don't know. It seemed like a highway to me. A lot of sight, a lot of area. So there's a scenic view. Well, we blew past the first one. Second one we pull into. And we look at it and look out there, and we're like, okay, and see some trees, and I see a hill. Okay, we'll get back on the bike and move right back down. So recently we find this waterfall. So we stop at that waterfall, and it's only 3/10 of a mile. Well, I walk up because she's still on the bike. I walk up to see how far it is. It's got a little sign, which you see on the video, 3/10 of a mile. If it wasn't for that waterfall, it was a wasted trip going up there. The scenic views are all exactly the same. You're looking at a hill or mountain, whatever you want to call it, and some trees. There's nothing to see. I don't know what you're looking at.
The scenic view.
But if I took a picture of all of those,
you wouldn't tell which one was which.
You probably couldn't take that picture and hold all 4 of them in front of you and say, yeah, that was this place. And this was the next one I'm going to go to. And this is no.
So I got some information for you too. They charge on which crog you go up, because I guess the steam ones are a different price than the other clogs. And it depends on where you sit on it, because you get a better view where you sit. That's why the price range they're saying.
I'll stick with it because you're a fat guy and a skinny guy. It sounds better.
But that's the reason. They're letting you know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one car. So how could I have a better view? Unless you had an
inside seat versus a window seat.
It's a bench seat.
I don't know. Did you go in it?
I could see from the camera when you edited it. I could see it's like a normal train car.
Whatever. So go on with your story. So you get to the Kangamangas and you go through the waterfalls.
Yeah. So then the next stop we go to is there's another right before the 90-degree turn, the switchback. There's another rest area there, or another sightseeing thing. So we drive up there. We didn't even get off the motorcycle and film that one. We just sat there with the camera and said, okay, that's it. And I backed the bike up and we got out and we went around the curve, and okay, it was pretty exciting. But I mean, it was bumpy too when you got around the other side, and the bike goes out. She gets scared of that because I was in the inside lane, and after you bounce across that, you're now on the outside part of the lane. And so we're like, okay, we rode that, and okay, so what else is next? And so yes, I wasn't. It's.
And we went to McDonald's and Dar Life.
Yeah.
But in Lincoln, we did stop at. We ate there. I think it was Lincoln Woodstock area at that Common Man.
And so there is some neat things there. The clog train was neat to go stop and look at.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was neat. The waterfall was really neat to look at. The visitor center, which we didn't really talk about that. That was really a neat place. I like that because you get a lot of tourist information, and the old people that were working it, they had computers and stuff, and they gave you a lot of really good information, which was very nice. That was nice. We should have did something with that, and I didn't think about it until after the fact that we should have talked about that. So if you're ever in Lincoln, it's when you come across the highway there, get off the 93, it's straight on there. When you make the left, it's right there before you hit the train tracks. And you make a right, and it's a big old visitor center. It's open all the time during the day. And it's a big place. Got bathrooms, nice and clean, really big. They got a little museum inside there to show you junk, and had the bear and a moose you haven't seen. The only moose we've seen here is that moose.
Yeah.
That'll be coming up soon. That's Wally the Moose, isn't it? Mortar the Moose, what's his name?
Marty
the Moose. He was there. He's a friend. And so so that was pretty much the highlight of that ride.
It was free. How much was the waterfall?
Free. Because she's got
America the Beautiful pass. Yeah, it would have been $5 for a day pass if you didn't have America the Beautiful pass. I wasn't looking to spend $5 though either. He was just gonna come back. I said, well, look, we get it free anyway.
I give you free advertising. I'll give them my $5 and they give me my $1,000 for the video that I put out. That's how I look at it. So, but she ended up looking at it and said, "Oh, look, it's a beautiful pass." So she's got that. So we wouldn't have paid anyway. So because I didn't realize it was a national park. Because national park, it works for national, and very few state parks, mostly national and federal parks. So that was kind of like that. Pretty much was all day, and it was all right. It was a nice ride. Now, if you want to tell me that, to come up here, it's very scenic. It's nice, some nice rolling roads now and then. There's a lot of places you can stop and look. Now, if you're a hiker, like Rod is,
Rod is a hiker.
Yes, you'll love it on all these roads because they've got you must have a billion places to stop and park and go on these hikes. Well, we're not hikers. So maybe some of these people that told me that it's the greatest ride in the world because it's hiking. Because you go out to Needles Highway, there's no place to stop and do any hiking on Needles Highway. No place. You can go wander through the woods, but there ain't no trail there. And so
they've got little pullouts that you could, but it's just.
And we're going to show you a whole lot different in Sturgis. We're going to show you why Sturgis rides are so great. And so, like I say, up here it is very beautiful to ride, and it's very scenic up here. Now, it's just like people that come to the desert and see where we live. They're like, my sister does that. She lives in Missouri and Illinois, and they just love our desert. No, it's a bunch of freaking rocks on some sand. That's what we got. Well, you see so much of that. That's at the end of it. And I think a lot of this is we've seen a lot of the United States. I've rode in the same area. This is very similar to riding in Lake of the Ozarks or down in Branson, Missouri, things like that. Very similar to this. Colorado area, when we were riding along the coast or that one river.
Yeah.
That we were very similar to that. We've also done it in the Grand Arizona's got that when we came through with the hard group. Go down Sonora. Sonora, very similar to this. So it's not. The difference is this is the whole freaking state's this way. So yes, there's a lot of it. You could ride freaking days and probably never leave the woods. So yes, that's definitely different. But the riding's not any different than it is in some other places. Now, if I came from Florida, oh yeah, hell, this was big time different. Well, we come from the desert. It's big time different. California even doesn't have the greenery that you have here. Right. There's more, we got palm trees and we have pines. When you get up to the redwoods and stuff, you got a lot of pines. You don't have a lot of oak and maple and stuff like that you see out here. So yes, there's
right, Rex.
So that part is different from being up here. But it's not to say that this is a big area for challenging rides. But I mean, I talk about this all the time because it's my opinion, and it's just like telling people to go to Devil's Tower or go out to Death or what's the other one?
Sorry, what?
Devil's Tower and the Badlands. Both of them are a sucky ride to get to, and if you're in Sturgis, you're riding all the way to Badlands. It's over 90 miles just to get to the freaking gate. And then you're just looking at the desert. It's not, I don't know. Well, we've seen the desert. We've rode through that. We've been through Death Valley. You go through Wyoming, you'll see the plains and all that kind of stuff. So we've seen a lot of that on our bike. So when we come to things like this, it's got to be something that really, that I go, wow, this is great. Like Arkansas. When we rode in, where's that bar at in Arkansas?
Eureka
Springs. There's like little miniature versions of Iron Mountain there. There's switchbacks. There's great turns. I guess you can close the blinds. People be looking in that soon. And so yes, so it is. So I wouldn't come here for my purposes. I wouldn't come here just for the riding. So that kind of ended up our riding for the time that we were here. Some of you were
that Smuggler's Notch in Vermont near Stowey is nice. Cece said.
I don't know. Never been there either. So I don't know. Well, the other thing that we do is what I tell people when we come to these things, which I've said a couple times already. We don't come here as a tourist. We're coming here to give you guys good information and make contacts and things like that. That's what we are here for. I'm not here to ride the train. I'm not here to do this or that, or just like. We'll go back because we didn't talk much about Castle in the Sky. So once again, I'm not paying for both of us to go in the Castle in the Sky $40 to film a video. I'm not really interested in the castle at all. She likes to look at things like that, but we're not there. But if you want to put us up and let us come in and we'll do a video for you, that's fine. Well, I emailed the lady and she emailed us right back the next day. Oh, she called, talked to her and set it all up. She was overly impressed that we were coming and doing all this. I'm going to make another video just because we filmed the inside too. And a whole bunch of neat stuff. And we did for
we're going to make one just of that, yeah, the castle in the sky.
And so I'll be doing that soon. And
that was thanks to Rod, because Rod told us to go up and if we go ride the loop, to go up there and see that.
So that's what we do. We call people up like that and say, hey, here's what it is. We're a YouTube channel. Here's a sample of something that we did. She sent her one of the videos that we did on something else and said, you know, we'll do this for you and we charge you nothing for it. And so we don't ask for it being free. And then that's what they say. Oh, wow, that was really great. I love that video that you sent me. And if you guys want to come up and do that, we'll comp you and everything for coming in. And
she even came in on her day off. It was her day off. She came in to see us.
So very helpful, very nice, very great. But what they're going to do next year, and we're going to help them promote it even if we're not here, is they're going to have a bike week festivities at their property. So they're going to have a bunch of stuff going on. They're going to have some bands, all kinds of neat stuff. So when you're up there doing a ride, you can stop by there and spend the afternoon. Got a nice lake. You can go around that one side. You get in for free. Doesn't cost you nothing. If you want to do the house, they're going to give a discount for the bike. Anybody comes on a bike, you'll get a discount if you want to go through the house. And it was really neat to see. You'll see on the video, they were the first ones to have electricity 7 years before anybody else did. It's just amazing how they built this house. And
it only took them 18 months.
Yeah, it had over 1,000 people. And it's just priceless. And it was it'd be worth the $20 to go and pay to go see it. But I'm there to make a video, not necessarily enjoy it. But it was very nice to hear what they said about it and talked about it. And it was pretty neat.
And we got to see some waterfalls there too.
And I would recommend, they had 7 of them. And we seen 5 of them.
6. We probably saw 6 out of we only missed 1.
Yeah. So that was really neat. But it's a hike. And so we get as far. For her, it was tough. With me, I was just out of breath. I wasn't going to die probably there unless I had a heart attack, but she would have just not been able to walk anymore. So the last one, she sat at the top of the hill when I went down to see if it was the big one. I don't know where the big one was. If it was the very first one when we first came in, you'll see. We showed you that waterfall when you first came in on that. That's a windy ass road. If you're not a good motorcyclist, you don't really want to come in that road.
A lot of moss on the road.
In the center of the road, there's moss, and your bike slides off, and so it was with 2 people on the bike, it was a little bit of a treachery
challenge.
Yeah, if I would have been by myself, it would have been no big deal. But there's a couple holes in the side, in the walk, in the driveway too. It was asphalt at one time, that's why it's slick in the middle, and then there's holes on both sides every now and then. So you just got to pay attention. But you're right on the edge. It was a nice ride up. I don't know how many miles it is up, but
so Mike knows about that. He said there's a wild history behind Thomas Plant and the Queen's Select Shoe Company.
Yep.
He had the largest shoe company in the world at one time. Yep. He had 5,500 employees. He was the first one that, he paid for. He had lunches brought in. He got food. They got.
Well, she watched the video, so she'll probably talk through some of this video because she watched the video and learned stuff. And
the sad thing was he lost them.
Yeah, don't tell them all that. You wait and see the story. But I mean, it's really neat. And if I was a tourist, I highly recommend you go check this out. And if you're a biker, if you're out there on a ride, it's a nice break from what you're doing. You know, if you're a bunch of guys, you may not want to go in it, but they've got some technology there. They had a refrigerator. It looked like an ice box, like the old-fashioned ice box. We put the ice in the bottom. This guy, they made ammonia and bromide and made Freon. And cool, they even were in I forget what year they said, they even had it to where they had part of it as a freezer. They could freeze ice. And I never would have dreamed that, it was so.
This was like in 1914?
1917 or 18, something like that. It was really early time when they did all this. And it was like, wow, this is just.
They said bad investments.
Yeah. And so we'll talk about that. She'll tell you the more story. You can look it up online too. Yeah. But so that's what they invited us there. So we did it. We went down to the other end of the park and they have a little lake there and they got a bunch of trails you can walk on too and stuff. And it was really nice. They even had a guy there that was from the parks that you could actually look at the sun. They had a special camera with a lens on it.
He's only there on Mondays.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And did you go look at it? You just talked to him.
She told me about it.
Oh.
I asked you if you wanted to go over there. It was after the hike and he says, I'm done. I want to get out of here.
It was already
He was hot and we needed something to drink. So anyway, yeah, but he was there. That's his passion, is he loves to look at the sun. And he had a whole bunch of little boards up there and told you about different things and what you could look at. And he showed you to look at it through this little thing. And then he had this gigantic telescope and then you could look at it and he'd tell you parts of the sun, the spots and what they were looking at.
And they had a big giant building, which we didn't really show in this video, that when you first come up to the house, before you get to the house, they give you there's a place where they have like dinners at night on Tuesdays or Wednesdays.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I think.
They have a dinner, and so it's pretty neat.
Dinner and music. I think they have somebody come in and play music, and then they have.
It's a pretty neat place. We didn't show you any of that.
You have to make reservations for that.
We didn't show you any of that on this video because we were just trying to keep it moving along and not dragging it out. So, but it was really neat, and it was worth a stop. And I was glad we stopped. But it didn't really look like a castle. It was just a big house.
Yeah.
But I
think they called it castle because it was so high up.
Yeah.
And it
was the biggest thing around at that time.
Yeah.
So it was a really neat stuff. So that's kind of what we did on all those days. So then pretty much after that is when we decided, let's go back downtown. So this is probably Wednesday, Thursday this week. So we go back downtown, and where'd we go then? I don't know. But we came back downtown and we spent a little bit of time downtown. Went there. We also stopped over at the Broken Spoke, which is now
High Octane.
Went in that bar. We filmed a little bit of stuff that's in there. Gave out some cards. Talked to some people. Some of that video showed up on that day. We never made it to the other bar over there. There's
Looney Bin. There's a Looney Bin too. A lot of people told us to go.
Never made it over there. We don't really know.
We looked at it the other day, but it was packed, and it's not a very big place. And I thought, there's no way we could get in there. And
people get weird about cameras and get too many of them out there and stuff like that. So we kind of went down there. We never made it back to the dealership. We're actually going to go there today, and we'll talk about in a minute about what today's happened. So we went over. So we went back down, and that's pretty much what we did last night. Is we stayed downtown till about 10 o'clock. Went up in the bar. We tried to get some more of our waitresses, but they got red lights on. I don't know why they got red lights on the girls upstairs there, but didn't do anything there. Kind of filmed a little bit of that. Got some girls walking down. So yes, definitely Friday night here was the biggest crowd that I've seen downtown, or there's not really downtown Laconia. Laconia is actually across town, but down on Lake. That's the biggest crowd I have seen since we've been here down there. So a lot of people, a lot of girls, younger girls were down there. People dressed very gladly. I missed out on one girl. One girl had a see-through shirt on, tube top. It was just that fishnet is what it was. And big old knockers, but I couldn't, it wouldn't be obvious. But I mean, there was a lot of little cute girls and stuff down there. Some of them looked underage, but I mean, I don't know. So we also did a live from there. We did the live from the Carousel Bar, or whatever it's called. What's that place called that we did the live from? Then you went back out front and sat.
Oh, that was the Boardwalk.
So they got a little restaurant up in the back, little patio. They got a little one-man band back there, and that's where we sat and did the live on Friday. And then she went out and sat in the picnic tables that are right there by the road.
Mexi Philly says red light district.
Yeah. So it was, but I mean, it wasn't too bad. We didn't see cops hassling anybody. Also in this trip, we seen cars pulled over. Didn't see any motorcycles. Now, we talked to Prime Cut Pro, and they were out there Friday night because we seen them yesterday.
Yeah.
So Friday night, they were out there. They're right down, a little bit farther down from going away.
He was like across the street from the High Octanes where he stayed.
So right before you get to that. And so he was standing there, and he's staying in a tent right there. And so all the people are doing burnouts. Well, every now and then the cops would come over and give people tickets for doing burnouts. That's one thing that I cannot believe goes on here. That every one of these freaking streets,
see it, but man,
one of these freaking streets got burnouts all over them.
Up and down.
We do know somebody got killed. We don't know who, but somebody got killed. Car hit them, and the car ended up rolling on top of them and smashed them. A biker. I don't know if it was just one or if there was more people on that bike. So, but I mean, people here doing these burnouts and stuff. We see, you heard a couple of them the other night. When you're out here and there's crowds on the street like that, to me, you're being very dangerous with people. Maybe you're trying to be Joe Cool or whatever the hell you're trying to be, prove, and then people are egging you on. We see people sitting all over the side roads last night. Show your boobs or squeal your tires or whatever. Pull the wheelie.
And he says, show your or do a burnout, one or the other.
So they're being egged on, and I guess so they probably sold a lot of tires out here this week, and you'll know on the way home. So I don't know. That's one thing that we didn't see a lot of that going on, but everywhere if you look
at the road,
wasn't hard. It was hard to find the pavement from all the burnout marks.
I tried to film some of it. Did you see that?
No. And some of cars, you can see some cars doing it. It looks like one was a dually truck that might have done it. And but I mean, that was one thing.
Oh my goodness.
What did we get?
We got a super chat. Thank you. $2.99.
Is it from Australia?
No, it's MA511B BP. They got a super sticker, $2.99 super sticker. So they'll have a sticker now.
Australia. He might be from Australia.
Oh, is he? I don't know.
So thank you. Petite Nation. Thank you. So yeah, so it was a pretty good night Friday night. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of people down there. A lot of bikes. But the vendors down there along that Lake Street just suck. There really isn't much down there for bikers. You know, mostly it's all T-shirt junk, and then they've got a place there that's a carnival place that's got games and stuff you walk by, and then you got the big bar down there, the Hill Bar.
Oh, Tower Hill Bar.
Yeah, Tower Hill Bar, and that's a pretty neat bar. They got a lot of. So, what?
He said you might call it massive pee-pee.
And so they need to really get rid of all them stupid people selling T-shirts down there and get some real vendors down there.
They said they've always been there. I don't know if it's Charlie that told me. They said they've got that stuff built because it's all up a hill. So they've got those platforms. They're there year round. They're built into the hill. So all they have to do is bring out their canopies and their T-shirts, and they're there. But it is. I bet you there's 30 T-shirt. It's a vendor after vendor after vendor after vendor.
Same junk.
And then there's a few.
It's probably all the same company doing it.
Cigar guy, and then some lady selling.
The HA's got a booth down there. There's quite a few of them around. So that's what Friday night too. There was a lot of the HA down there. Somebody said something to me when I was in one of the bars. Watch what you're filming. Oh, I don't film them anyway. You know, if they get in the way of the camera, it's not my fault. You know, you can see me standing here with my
like we don't my arm all the way up in the air. Trying to do this.
They're all at the bar.
See them, we try to move.
They're all at the bar, and I'm fine with that. I'm not going to film the backs of them at the bar and stuff. But I mean, if they walk in front of my camera, you're riding down Main Street or Lake Street, and I don't notice you till after you pass, then you got filmed. You know, you're in a public area. That's life. And at their booths, no, I don't really concentrate on them. But I mean, when we're across the street there and I'm filming, you're going to see some of that. You're going to see their booth. I guess if you zoomed in, you could see them, but I'm not the guy you have to worry about. There was 5 or 6. I don't know if it was ATF. They were somebody. They had about 5 or 6 of them, dressed very good, had badges around their neck. I was going to go up to them. I never got around to saying, who the hell are you guys? Let me see your badge. And so they were somebody, and they had 35 millimeters, the old school style. And
with big lenses on.
So I don't know if they were taking pictures of the motorcycle clubs as they drove by, their pictures, and then their plate numbers. I have no idea, but they were in several places. We've seen them downtown, and then coming down the hill on Friday, I guess. They were standing in a parking lot.
Like up on a hill.
Yeah, so they could see both ways. You could see the bikes coming up, and then they could get a shot of bikes going up. Never seen them taking pictures, but they all had their cameras in their hands, around their neck, and holding them. Those are the guys you need to worry about, not me. That's out here with the video camera. Because by the time they figure out where you're at, you're not going to be there. So we're not, we're a day behind, and they're taking all their pictures back to this police station, and they're going to, So, hey.
Anyway.
But just FYI.
So Mexi Philly says most vendors he knows are going to be in Laconia for the 100th, and then they drop off.
Yeah, and I figured that. And I think this year was a lot slower because it's just like Sturgis's when they had the 74th. We were there at the 74th. We did not go to the 75th because I wasn't going to fight the crowd. So we went to 74th, and it was the best year to ever go. There was hardly nobody there. It was a good crowd. They had a couple 100,000. Yeah. They probably still had 300,000 or 400,000, but we got there early. They didn't have the pre-rally stuff going on. We got there on our Thursday and was able to do our rides. And then during the week, it wasn't so crowded that we never really had to wait around to get anything done, do the rides, get our bike worked on. It all worked out great. 75th, just like here. The 100th will probably be crazy here. If you're thinking about coming here for the 100th, you need to book it now.
Yeah.
Because the prices will be going up, just like everything else. No matter what the gas is, there's going to be a lot of people here for the 100th. I don't know if we'll come back. Just like we tell everybody here, you get us connections with the campgrounds. If you find one that's interested, we'll send them a letter out, tell them what we can do. Maybe they don't need me for the 100th, but the 101, if they have it, there's probably going to be nobody here because they're all came the 100th.
Use the old type cameras instead of the video ones because they can't be manipulated like digital ones.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And his name is Nothing to See Here. Picture of Trump.
So yeah, you're probably right.
Real estate for vendors. I'm sure next year they're going to charge.
Yeah. And it's already high here because there's no, which is actually a good time for you to buy parts and stuff. Buy stuff because there's no sales tax in the state. So if you had any work done, if everybody charges you sales tax, you need to get your money back. But they charge the vendors more because the state's not collecting any money. So there's more fees here, which actually Speeds tells that it costs them more here than what they pay in Sturgis, which is shocking because Sturgis is expensive. For anybody that's in Sturgis, they know how expensive it is. You got to, their permits are in the city of Sturgis is $1,500 just for the permit, not counting your, that's just for the week of this rally. And if you want to go the week before, it's another $1,500. Don't tell them what it is this year. We don't.
I think they're 7-day permits. So you can either do the 7 days of the rally. If you want to do pre-rally, then you got to pay another 7 days pre-rally.
Plus what they charge you for your rental.
And then they come around every night and collect their sales tax.
Yeah, well, some of them. If you're most shady places, they do. If they know you're a reputable business, they don't have to pay that like that. But most of them, because there is some shady people out here that at the end of the rally, it's supposed to be over on Saturday, and they're gone on Friday night
or Thursday night. They take off and they're not even here Friday.
They keep the tax money and never been seen again.
We did not go to North Conway. That's where some outlet malls are out there too. Somebody's having fun outside in the rain.
So yeah, so that kind of
that's at the other end of the King of Mangus. So we went. We started King of Mangus at Bear Notch, and then drove all the way back to Lincoln. So we came that way. We went.
I figured that little bit of the strip there, where if we would have went to Mount Washington and done that ride, then I don't know how it would have gone. I probably wouldn't have done the 3, but the guy Rod that we know, he had told us we should drive it, which it was that first bit of when you could come out of Lincoln and get back on the 93. That is really nice. There's some big rocks there, some big mountains or whatever they are. Very impressive. You get up on the 3 there. There's a couple other little places you can get off, and you can do some hiking there. And it looked like it would be a really interesting place to explore, but we had all day. We didn't have all day because we had other things to do. I also wanted to stop at that hotel.
Oh, the Mount Washington Resort.
Our Rod that we stayed at said you can go in there and you can look around. They don't mind you checking it out. And it definitely would have liked to spend there, but it probably would have spent an hour or 2 exploring it and videotaping and all that, and would have never got anything else done. So that was an opportunity to just say, I have to pick and choose what we do. And when I seen it, I was like, I'd like to stop, but I'm not. So what I got to do is I look at stuff that sometimes I regret stuff. I kind of regret that I didn't go through the hotel. I don't regret not going up Mount Washington. I really don't care. If for free, I would have done it, but not for $50, $40, or even $10 I would have paid to go up. If both of us could have rode up for $10, I'd have done that. But no. But then when it's private, it's just like an amusement park. And we don't really do amusement parks anymore. So screw the
Rider X says his bike's on the dyno as we speak, and he had a big announcement to make. He's not going to be able to go to Sturgis this year, but next year, him and his wife are both going to go.
She going to ride?
She's going to go. Yeah. How about that? So that'll be cool. So we'll see you there next year.
So we'll know a little bit more about Sturgis when we get there. So that ended up our week Friday. So today is Saturday. So we'll talk a little bit about what we did today. So this morning we got up normal time. I was up by 7. She got up by 8. And so we downloaded all the videos, all my software, because I wanted to get to take cameras with us today because I didn't know if we were going to shoot anything or not. So the idea of today was to do our laundry because, like I say, when we leave here, we're 10 days on the road. And we really don't have time to sit a couple hours in a laundromat.
Some clean underwear.
Yeah. So we got all the clothes all clean. Everything's ready to go. The only thing dirty is what we got on. So that's what we did. So we have a little laundromat up here, and I bought some stuff. I bought some new flash drives because some of my camera, I've been having some trouble. You've seen the other day, GoPro. I had some trouble with GoPro, and I could download it into my PC, but the Apple kept saying error, defective disk, defective hard drive, will not work. So I had to put in there. Well, I had a little flash drive, which at first I could put 5 clips in it. Then it got down to 3 clips. Then it got to 1 clip where I kept deleting everything. But even though you delete things out of things, things are still there.
Like a ghost memory or something.
And still it takes up space. So that ended up in the trash. And so I said, order me some freaking flash drives that'll work. So she ordered me 2 1 terabyte flash drives. So we picked those up today. They came in Plymouth yesterday. So we're like, we got to Plymouth anyway. I seen a nice laundromat on the way past Plymouth. Looked like a little nicer than, it's just like a campground one up here. And being Saturday, I figured it'd probably be already people up there. So we figured, let's go up there. And she said, you can drop me off at the laundromat, and then you can go across town in the downtown Plymouth, which is a kind of a neat town too to explore.
It was
but we don't have time to do that. But a lot of old shops, a lot of bikes down there looking around. I don't know what's down there. We found
another common man over there too. It was a big one. It looked really cool.
Yep.
So I think Rod told us about that too.
Yep. Didn't have time to go there. So I tell you on the laundromat because we got a big giant bag, probably 100 pounds of clothes. And I tell her, I said, go in there and see if they got anything and come back out. Well, then I see a couple more cars pull up and they're getting ready to get their stuff out. I'm like, oh, I'm going to grab the shit and start going inside. And so I'm about halfway across the parking lot. She's like, there's none there. There's one washer free and the rest are out of order. Everybody else is using the rest. So I'm like, all right, put it in there and let's go get the flash drive. So I got the flash drive. Well, I wanted to go to Harbor Freight today. Got 20% discount still going on tomorrow if you want to go to Harbor Freight. Got one around you. And I want to pick up a few more things.
He didn't get his ratchets, though. They were too expensive.
And so we're going to show you some stuff, a video somewhere online. We over these last month, we bought some stuff at Harbor Freight that during the sales. My tea. I need to relieve my tea. Oh, my gosh. Tell them about something.
Well, I wanted to tell if Life Naver 33 is still on there. I was a radiation therapist. Oh, there's Charlie Dog. Can you see him? There's Charlie Dog. What do you do? Come here. Come here. Come here. See, oh, he's going to get up. Come here. Come here. Oh, there's my puppy dog. There's Charlie. Anybody wants to see Charlie? There he is. Oh, are you good doggy? Yes, you're a good doggy. Yes, I'm a good boy. So I was a radiation therapist for 30 years. And I took care of cancer patients, gave them radiation treatments, and that was my job. That's what I did in the hospital. So if you're still on, that's what I did. You asked me a long time ago, but he was talking, and I couldn't get him quiet. So anyway, this is my Jill. Thank you, Smokey T Bear. What I know, he probably wants his drink, and he hasn't gone outside yet since we've been home. Thank you, Charlie. They want to see you over here. Can you say hi? Oh, here he comes. You better run. You're sitting in his spot. He's going to get you.
Hey,
Bob's filling.
Up there?
Yep.
Come up.
Yep. Oh, Jerry got to meet Charlie when he was behind us there at Kathmandu. There you go. You're still on. I'm glad you're still on. Sorry, I couldn't get a word in edgewise. I wanted to try to get that out there. So what did you do? He says, he or she, I'm not sure, says he's in the military or in the medical field.
So we're still on Saturday. So we did the laundry. Oh, we didn't do the laundry yet.
You have to call it squirt in the dirt.
So we had to go. So we decided to go to Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight is up in Guilford. Hey, I got it right. So up in Guilford, so we take a map and we head over that way. And we go weave through some roads, and the stupid GPS said turn in the 2nd Street. Well, they wanted me to turn at the 1st Street. I don't know where the 2nd Street was at. So we missed that turn. Had a little bit of a detour and finally got to Harbor Freight and went in there. It took me a while to figure out what I wanted. And we'll show you what I got. And not today, and another day. And be a video when I got nothing else to put up. So we went there, and after that, we're hungry now. I don't know what time is it, 2 o'clock or something. Yeah. And so we're hungry, and I'm like, a guy sent me an email, George, one of our subscribers. He might be on tonight. He won't talk on chat, but he watches our videos.
George King, I think his name is.
I don't tell people his name.
Well,
you know, look him up and make obscene phone calls to him. So it's just George.
Just helping us out.
And so he gave us a list of restaurants and stuff. And I'm like, hey, he gave us some restaurants over here in Laconia. Let me look one of these up and see what he's got. So one of them was a pizza place, which we've had pizza a couple of times. We didn't want pizza again. And the other one was this John's Deli and
roast beef and deli.
Roast beef. And the John spelled Jon. And so we're like, so she called. He said great for their soup. So she's like,
I love soup.
She tried to call him and it kept saying their line's busy, call back later. So I messaged him and said, hey, what kind of soup you have today? So finally she just constantly kept calling. So they found out what kind of soup they had. And so it was like, well, what do you want? You want to do the pizza? But the pizza's a little farther away. It was like 20 minutes away, and this was supposed to be just a few miles down the road.
It was like basically across the street from where we were.
So we had to make a U-turn because you couldn't make a left and they got really small parking lot. But if it was really good, and we're going to do a video on that, and one of them will add, maybe the video I do tomorrow, we'll have that in it. We didn't have no video today.
Bob was never a cop. So where was Bob a cop at?
I know a lot of cops,
yeah,
but I've worked with a lot of cops. but I've never.
When he does the video when they fix the bike is when he's gonna tell you what's wrong, what the issue was, what he thinks the issue was, why the sound's not there.
Yeah. So, and now we found something else that's going on. We were at Speed the other day when I turned my bike off. He goes, "Oh, you know, you need this now." So, well, so after we eat, then we're like, well, what do we do after we ate? We were going to go to the dealership because we still need to. Dan Kite, that does the pinstriping, wants to pay us to do some videos, and so he doesn't have any equipment. He wants to get a camera, and what he wants to do is some time lapse on some of the really great jobs that he does. Not saying all of his jobs,
the really nice jobs. Not because he does pinstriping, but he does some really cool stuff too. So he wants to do some of the cool stuff that he does.
And then put a couple of those videos up in time spot, and we do a video. Probably put it on our channel, and then he wants to put it on his website and stuff like that to show people the kind of work that he does. And you can see it within, and instead of watching him and do it in an hour, you'll see it in a couple of minutes because it takes like every 8 seconds or 15 seconds. It clicks off a picture, and they're pretty neat. And I'll give him music to it, or he can talk behind it, whatever he wants. So he's wanted to do that. So we were supposed to go over there before he leaves this week, and I wanted to show him the camera that I use and tell him what I recommend so he can buy it. And then Sturgis, we can help him set it up, and he can do it the first time while he's over there in Sturgis. So we get over there, and we could go 2 ways around. We're down kind of towards the bottom of the lake. We could either go up the 3, which looks pretty much straight shot, or you could have went around the other way, and I forget what the other road was. They recommended going around the other way. So when we rode a boat the other day, one of our subscribers,
Jerry,
took us out on the lake there. So we'll have a little bit of video on that too, what it looks like out there on the lake. And so it was nice and different from what we normally do in really. And we have a boat, so we've been on water before, lots of water. And so
neat to see this area.
So by going back to 3, we would kind of see things that he showed us from the water. Plus, he lived over that way, and so kind of put in perspective what we saw on the lake. Yeah. So we're going up the road there, and we're driving, and they say it's about 5 miles to the dealership. So traffic stops. So I don't have a GPS on because I already had looked to see we go up to 3. So we're sitting there for a while, move up. Well, I'm thinking we could get around the corner or something. I'd see an accident or some traffic lights or something. Because according to the map, there really shouldn't be any traffic lights. There's no really roads coming off of there. So finally, I plug in the GPS on my phone, and comes up on the screen on the truck, and it says it's a 50. Now we're 3 miles from the dealership, and it's a 53-minute wait.
53 minutes to get 3 miles.
And I'm like, no.
Well, we were right there, and he says, well, what do you want to do? And I said, there's a turnaround right here. So
there was a business or something there. We could turn in, back up, and get back out. And I'm like, screw it. And then it ended up taking us to get from there back to Warren. 15 minutes more.
No, it was less. It was like 43 minutes. It was going to take us 53 minutes to get 3 miles. To go 46 miles, it was going to take us 43 minutes.
I think it was an hour and 15 minutes, but let it go. Doesn't matter. But the point was, it wasn't going to take us. We go to set in that line that much longer, and we're like, no. So we're probably going to go up there tomorrow morning before they tear down and stuff, and let him see it then. So she texted him. I don't know if he ever wrote back or not yet.
Who?
But
Dan.
That a lot of the vendors. That's what we're hearing too. Most of the vendors didn't do too bad, but lots of slow days here. And it sounds like Amzo Adam wasn't too exciting because I guess his wife texted her this today and said, how's everybody else doing? So that just kind of tells me they're probably not doing much. So I don't know if it's because, well, see, 2 things is going on. I think it's because it's the 99th and a lot of people didn't come. You know, with the gas prices and all that, they might say,
for next year.
Let's just wait till next year and hopefully it'll be lower. We won't spend so much money. Well, actually, there's a couple things. Other thing is you spent all this money to get here, your gas, all your expenses. I can't really afford to have anything done on my bike right now. That's what you might say. I do what you got to fix your bike. You got to fix your bike. That's the way I look at it. And we'll put it on a credit card and we'll make some payments on it. You have to, or do whatever you got to make, I enjoy riding a bike. You got to have it fixed just like your car. So that's my thought. But so that's part of why I think. And then the last thing, which some of the vendors have told us, is it's been too nice of weather. They think everybody's been riding, which we did when we were up there. I don't know which one we did that we've seen a lot of bikes. I don't know if it was the loop around the lake we've seen a lot of bikes pretty much everywhere we've been. There's been a lot of bikes. Today was like that. Wasn't any Normally we see a lot of bikes out here because we're off the 25 out here, and a lot of bikes are heading out that way because you can go out that way to get up to, was it Waterloo, whatever that town is up there, water or something, isn't it? It's above us. And so there's about where he took us the very first time to eat.
Oh.
What town does it start with a W?
No, it was Lincoln or Woodstock.
Woodstock. And so you go up that way and you can get up there to all the rides up there and stuff. That's kind of one of the reasons we decided to stay here, was because we were close to all the rides, and we told you guys we were going to do more riding here than we were doing anything else, which we did. We did a lot of riding, which kind of messed up what we normally do. A lot of you love the rides, but not many people watch them. So that's what kind of sucks about doing those kind of things. But it is what it is. So that was that. So there was a lot of bikes today. We didn't see very many going in. We did see a few as we started getting closer to past Plymouth. We started seeing some bikes, nothing like we've been seeing during the week. And then once we got into town, in the area, general area, lots of bikes out. And which it is. If you're riding around town, you're blocked by the wind from the hills and stuff. So you don't have all that wind, and it's not quite as cold as you're cruising at 80 miles an hour down the highway. So we came back here. We ended up finally doing the laundry in Plymouth by the time we got back here, which was probably about, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock.
Between 3 and 4:30.
So we got all that done, and then we got back here about 5, and then 5:30 we went and ate with Rod and his wife. We just met her, the guy we were staying with, and then now we're here. So that's my day.
What about the little road we drove back to get here?
Oh.
Before we get to Plymouth.
We got 2 roads. One we have a question about, and the second one we have found the very best windy road in the area, and nobody told us about it. And we just stumbled over it with the truck. And we were actually coming back from, I don't know what road we were originally on, because we should have turned onto the 104.
That's what I said. I said, well, this is the 104.
But it's telling me to go straight, and it says it's the same time, and it's like, we've never been on this road. Let's just go this way and see what it was. Well, it was a little windy ass. Some of the turns had like bricks on it holding up the wall, where it was fairly smooth, and it ends you up in Ashland.
It was called Winona Road, Wineoa.
So it's anybody's road on that road. Then you end up going under a little train trestle that's the one way that's about this wide and 10 feet tall,
and it's a big sharp curve.
Yeah. And I would have loved to have took my bike down that road. But it was, I don't know, we even seen a car coming against us.
There was 1 or 2.
Not very many.
Not
I mean, you could really cranked it up around some of those turns and leaned into them, and it'd have been a nice ride. Now, another one that we're curious about, that we've seen a lot of cars go down, a lot of motorcycles, and a lot of cop cars, and it's called the Roller Coaster Road. Now, we didn't take the truck down that.
I think we were on the 106. I think we were on the 106 and then I said, boy, everybody's turning on this road, because we were supposed to turn on the next road.
It was an option that we could have turned that way. And I'm like, everybody's going that way. There's probably a light down there at the end of the freaking street, and we'll be sitting there for 2 hours. So let's just keep going straight.
And then as we went by, I said, oh, it said Roller Coaster Road. That would have been a good road to go down. I think
somebody might have said something about that road, but I'm curious, is that a windy road like a roller coaster, or does it just drive by a place that has a roller coaster on it? We don't know.
There was was it Hurricane Road?
Yeah,
somebody told us about a road.
Yeah,
but I think it was Hurricane Road.
I think it's somebody that emailed me and said that we should go down Hurricane Road or Hurricane Alley or whatever it's called. And then somebody else I asked about it, and they said, oh, that's not that great of a road. So I don't know. Everybody's opinion is different. So that's what I say would be a great ride to ride on. It wasn't too awful bumpy, like most of these roads are out here. So you can look through some of your comments now.
Tail of the Dragon.
What?
She wanted to know what TOTD stood for, and I said Tail of the Dragon. I figured that one out. I'm blonde too, but I got it because I heard you guys talking about it. So Lady Tam is having some issues. She's got an RV. I guess she got one up in Lake. She must live in Arizona. She got it up in St. George, and she had solar put on, and now the top of her roof, the rubber roof, is all loose. So I don't know if it's from them putting the solar on top.
You shouldn't have probably put solar on a rubber roof.
Talk to the dealer and Flagstaff, and it'd be November before they can get it in. Gee whiz. That's the bad thing about
I can, if you email me
Well, let me go to my thing here.
With your information, because I won't remember tomorrow, you can email me. Tell me your story. I know a guy that's an expert in solar, and we can ask him about a rubber roof with solar on it, what he recommended. Because what it has to be is you have to put some pretty long screws to get through the rubber to get to the I don't know if there's aluminum underneath there, but they're all. I don't know much about the rubber roofs. I know I don't.
Hurricane Mountain Road. Somebody said.
Yeah, that's what it is. Hurricane Mountain Road. They said it was a really good ride. Somebody told me that.
But they said real short.
Mm.
That Winona Road was. I don't know. It was probably a good 10 miles at least.
Probably might have been more than that.
Yeah.
We weren't really. I noticed it was just a boony road when we were riding on. It was really small. It was skinny. It was tough on the truck. It was hard for me to stay not going over the yellow line in the middle. No place you could ever pass in that road.
He didn't put the panel on. So you don't have solar on it yet then? I don't know. I'll have to go read what other things that
well, just email me anyway, and then we can help you. We know a lot about RVs, and I have a lot of friends with info. So you email us, tell me what your story is, and we'll get back to you tomorrow, and I'll try to find you some answers. I don't know on Sunday if I can find you answers, but I can definitely get you.
It says this guy has done a lot of these. So I don't know. Maybe she's...
So give me the information if you want me to help. I can. If you don't, that's fine too. Either way.
What's your joke? Ryder X says he has a joke. You want to hear it? And you've been on an hour and 30 minutes. 2 hours and 30.
Holy crap. We got 87 people on though.
Yeah. Shows 90 on there. All right. So what's your joke, Ryder X? So here he goes. Oh, no, that's Mike. Is TOTDO. I don't know. To do. Out in California, they have restaurants when we got out there, and I called them Togos because it was TOGO, but they're Togos, not Tugos. Anyway.
I don't know what that had to do with anything, but.
Because they're asking about to do or not to do.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. What?
They're close. They're going to go, I think they're all going to do a ride on Tail of the Dragon. It came with 2 little panels. All right. But if you want some help, you can email him, and he can give you the other guy too, and maybe you can get some quotes.
Or we can give you information on. Yeah. I don't. Well, it's too late now for you. I would never buy a trailer with a rubber roof on it. I've seen YouTube will give you 1 million views. I know a guy right now, his roof just blew off the other day.
What is the smartest animal on the planet?
I'm not good for jokes. I don't.
Hope you two are having fun. We are. All right, Ryder X, I give up. What's the smartest animal on the planet? Smartest animal. I'd have to say man. I don't know.
Well, it's some kind of animal. It's probably got something to do with the name of the animal.
Thanks for the help. A fish, because they always travel in schools.
I figured it had something.
That's a dad joke. Happy Father's Day to all you guys that are out there that are dads.
We'll have a live sometime tomorrow, either with AMSOIL or without. And we're trying to just figure out what their schedule is to be able to put it up and tell you what time. I'd love to do it at the same time at 7, but I don't know where we're going to eat at yet. We may just do one right after we eat and wherever we're eating at. I don't know. It's pretty far to go to a Chili's, but.
I don't know if Ryder X is on Facebook or not.
Why?
Jerry wanted to know if Ryder X is on Facebook because Jerry lives, I guess, up there by the Tail of the Dragon. And I guess he wants to do a ride this summer on Tail of the Dragon. So I guess they were all going to go together.
Well, if you're all right with it, you can send me in our email, send me your name and your phone number, and we will pass it on to Ryder X, and he can call you and give you his phone number.
Yeah, if you guys want to do that. I don't know if I got Jerry's phone number, but I got Ryder X's. Yeah. So, Jerry, if you want to email us, I can swap you guys phone numbers.
Yeah. So then you guys can talk or whatever. So, and Ryder X he talked to Neil the other day. Yeah. Neil's not on, is he?
I haven't seen him. No.
He's got something going on tonight.
I haven't seen Rat Pink either. Maybe some people are doing some stuff for Father's Day today.
It's Saturday night, so people might have. We normally don't do lives on Saturday, but I figured our internet at this campground's not our hotspots working pretty good. So I thought, what the heck? Let's get it up and give them a idea what we did, what we thought. So
we're going to talk about tomorrow.
I don't know. Well, Adam's going to talk. We're going to talk about how he did, and we'll talk about what we do on Saturday. So I don't know. Well, people always ask the simple questions is, would you come back here? At this moment, probably not. I'm not really that interested in the 100th because once again, it's probably going to be crowded as hell. But I mean, if somebody could get us a campground with electric and things like that and be close enough and it's not costing me a fortune, I don't mind spending $100 or $200 for a campground, but no, I can't spend 600 or 1,000. I just can't do that. It's not. I don't know what we made here, but probably a couple of $100. We're probably not doing very well with this rally. So when I look at something like that, I look at views. If I don't get the views from here, it's not worth us coming back. But
Steven said he drove down from New Haven to Laconia to get my sticker and didn't find you. We'll be here tomorrow still if you're here. Did you email us and give me your address or your contact information so we could text?
I told you that today where we were eating at. I put that on there and on Facebook.
See, I don't know.
If you're somebody that's just trying to run into us, good luck. I mean, that's just
a lot of people do, but not everybody does.
It's just a miracle to find out where we're at, because especially in a place like this, there's so much ground to cover to find us. So that's why I said the only place we were really, like I said, we were planning on being at the dealership this afternoon, but that didn't happen. And then we were planning on what else were we planning? Something
email us your phone number, and I'll email you back our phone number, and then we can text. So tomorrow, if you do that tonight, then tomorrow, wherever we end up,
we're planning on going to the dealer sometime tomorrow. Now we're probably taking the truck out again. I don't know if I'm about done with the motorcycle at this moment, and so we're probably just gonna take the truck out. And
it's still supposed to be cool tomorrow, I think, too.
Yeah, but it doesn't. We didn't bring any really heavy coats and stuff like that to ride here. I brought my chap. She didn't bring hers. We've only got 2 light jackets that we put over each other to make it a warmer jacket. We've got gloves. We have face masks, but I can't find mine. We don't know where they're at. And
I brought them.
But the idea is typically in this type of weather, it should be 80 or 90 degrees here, which everybody would agree to that. Shouldn't be in the 50s here.
Well, then we were trying our best to try to get electric hookups on the way across the Midwest, because they say it's supposed to be so hot in the 90s and 100s
that I can't afford to run the generator all the time. So it's better to pay 10 or 20 bucks a night.
So that's our email address.
Yeah. So yeah. So it's we'd love to meet everybody, but it's just like we didn't do no meet and greet here. But I don't do meet and greets hardly anymore, for the fact that nobody ever really shows up. Most of our meet and greets, I get a handful of people, which is usually 2 or 1, and that's it. So for us to sit in one spot and just wait, and maybe you'll show up and maybe you won't. Well, to me, it's a waste of my time. I've got, you want content. If I spend 2 hours or 3 hours sitting there waiting for you people to show up and nobody comes, because people say that, oh, we're downtown. Well, hello, we're right here. We told you where we're going to be. Well, can't you come downtown and see us? No, because I've already filmed that. I'm here now filming this. We're working. We're not. It's like your job. If let's say you're the postman and you've got a route, and you say, okay, you should be by my house around 9 o'clock when you drop my mail off. So I get up about noon and I call you up and say, hey, dude, come by. I want to give you a letter I wanted you to send back. Mail for me. Well, you're clear across town. Are you going to come back? No. Well, this is what us is. This is like a job for us. We work the whole rally. So
they say love what you do.
Yeah, and I like what I do. I'm not complaining about what I do, but it's the point that it's. We'll see how Kathmandu does. I'm hoping Kathmandu that we're having this big meet up and greet, and that you'll all show up
Monday,
that
August
are here.
8th,
and I understand if you're not here on Monday that you can't be there. But I hate to see somebody that would come up to me on Tuesday and say, well, man, are you going to have a meet and greet? I've been here since Friday and I can't find you. Then that guy would say, no, you ain't going to find me. Well, I get it all the time. I get somebody just wrote on in the comments today I seen, are you going to have a meet and greet in Sturgis? Is there anybody on here that doesn't know we're having a meet and greet on Sturgis? Now, if you're brand new that just came to stand, I understand that. But what we always get is these people come up to us and say, I've been watching you from the beginning. Are you going to Sturgis? Do you cover that? No, I don't do Sturgis. I mean, where you been? Is there ever a week I don't talk about Sturgis?
So
Jeez,
right at
almighty.
X, it rained a little bit this morning. It kind of was misty on and off all day. You can still ride, and it's raining now tonight. It's not pouring, but it's like,
Here's the way we look at it too. I'm not going out and riding in the rain. You know, I've been wet. We've been soaked over my years. I've been riding a bike. I'm 61 years old now. I'm not going to go out here and ride in the town with my rain suit on to film some video. It ain't going to happen. Because the other thing could happen is I could get sick, I could get a cold, I could get pneumonia. A lot of things could happen. Now I'm really screwed. We've been really healthy through all of this. And I don't know
really
what would
I,
and typically I'm usually as the seasons change, I'm usually sick for about a week each season change. That I don't want to work, I can't breathe, I can't do any of this. These last 2 years have been excellent. We really haven't been, other than her achiness and all that, but not that we either one of us has really been sick, and that's great. And but I'm not going to go out here and ride in the rain just to say I can ride in the rain. I've done it. I've been wet. I'm not looking like Myrtle Beach.
That's
we got
no fun.
Was it Myrtle Beach we got soaked in? You played wet T-shirt, or was it Panama City?
No, it was Daytona. We were staying at Sam's house.
That's right. She played wet T-shirt. You'd have seen her that day. And
I mean, we were so close to being back.
Had her white shirt on.
That was yellow, but it was still
didn't look like she had anything on. It was cold rain. And but yeah, I'm not interested in getting wet anymore. And you know, we've road trips. We've been in Sturgis. We've been in Hale. As I said, you know, if that just drives me crazy. Which none of you guys really do this, but I mean, those are guys that say, "Oh, those people that drive trailers, they don't know how to ride. They're not a biker." Well, I always tell the first thing is, you know, real bikers don't call each other bikers. And so there's your first mistake. And second of all, you don't know what that guy's situation is. Maybe the guy's lost a leg. Maybe the guy's had a heart attack. Maybe the guy's had issues with girls too. You know, just like us. I've been in hail, golf ball size hail. I've been in, only thing we haven't been rode in is hurricanes and a tornado. I've been in Death Valley when it's 127 degrees. We've rode through floods. Deadwood, I don't know how we didn't end up in a ditch. I pulled into a parking lot and the culvert was completely full. The water was probably about 8 inches deep, and we came out of Deadwood, was with Art. It poured down rain, and we're like,
Kelly.
Yeah, we had no rain suits on, nothing. And
that was a cold day.
There was a pizza place right there on the right-hand side, and I turned in the driveway. And
I don't know how we did.
I assumed the driveway was one big giant driveway. When the rain stopped, we had a pizza. We got there before they ever opened. They let us in, and we sat there until they opened, and we ate a pizza and stuff. And it finally stopped raining. And when we went out the driveway, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's like a 3-foot drop off. We hit that driveway just right. How none of us got killed and dropped our front tire into that hole? Because it was just
God was watching out for us.
Yeah, somebody was, because it was just a miracle, because you couldn't see it. I just turned and thought, this looks like a place to stop. Let's see if we can find a place. Let's see if we can get someplace dry. And but yeah, so yes, we've rode in all that, and I've rode in snow. I used to, when I had my dirt bike, I used to ride in the snow when it was deep. It's a lot of fun too. And but
we used to go skeeching. Anybody go skeeching?
That's with a car. And so, yes, we've done all that. I don't need to prove anything to anybody, and you don't need to prove to me what you can do and what you can't do. And ride the rides you can ride. Don't ride rides you shouldn't ride. There's people that go on Needles Highway and Iron Mountain and stuff like that that have no business riding on it. Sturgis is not a place to go and learn how to ride. You know, if you're going to go out to, which it is, if you're an inexperienced rider, you've never rode, that's a problem when you come to a rally. We actually want to do a video on this. That you don't, if you've never ridden in heavy traffic, don't do it at a rally. You know, it's bumper. We've rode in LA traffic. I've split lanes. I know how to do all that stuff. And, you know, to sit on a hill, and if you don't know how to hold your clutch and stuff like that, you could run into problems. People don't know how to pull out in front of cars. You know, you got to know how to, you know, when traffic's busy like this, it's you got to know how to work your bike to where you can slip in between cars or whatever, or you're never going to get out. So you got to know when to take a chance. And, you know, if you can't do that, you really shouldn't be park your bike and walk around it and see a lot of stuff. Don't go on the real you know, just like there's probably a lot of people go up this Mount Washington, which I'm just imagining what people tell me, that probably have no business going up that road if it's as steep as they say it is. I'm assuming the road goes in circles. It's not that you're going straight up a hill. But the way people explain it to me, that's what it sounds like. It's a road that goes straight up the hill. There's no winding around the mountain. I don't know. We didn't go there, so I don't know.
So these people say they're staying. I can't say his name. Bull 22. They're going to be staying at Bulldog Creek Campground. So that will be right around, not too far from Kathmandu there.
Yep.
I think Amazon Lamb's app is happy with sales. I'm glad, Stephen. That makes you happy.
He keeps track of that. Stephen's the expert on Amazon Adam.
Yeah, on his
financial situation
and how happy he is. We know.
Good morning, YouTube. Yeah, he does a good imitation of, but he won't do what we told him. You guys should tell him this. He always talks about good morning.
Good morning, YouTube.
You know, we said he sounds like Yogi Bear. He needs to say, and you too out there, Boo Boo Bear. And I think that could be his catchphrase, like at the pating that we're supposed to have. He could have the Boo Boo Bear, and he won't do it.
The Boo Boo Nation. Or if they get a new dog, they could call it Boo Boo, and then he could say when he takes his dog out.
Because he started walking the dog. Because I told him that. I said, "There's a lot of people I look at your channel that comment that they like the dog walk." So if you watch the last couple of videos, it's not his dog. It's Chip's dog's.
Chip's girlfriend's dog.
Yeah. So he's been walking him in the video again.
All right. So they said they know our meet and greets at the Kathmandu.
There
on what
go.
Day? Monday, August 8th.
Yep.
The postman always meets and greets us twice. Is there ever a live when Bob doesn't mention Sturgis? No.
Probably not.
If you want Sody Daisy, Tennessee, and a postman, then you don't do your job. Bob, do you want to come here and be our postman? We get our mail in a timely manner.
I could not figure out. They don't pay postmen very well for a union job. That sucks. I always thought it would be a good job to get, but
where's Neil? I don't know. Neil's not on. Safe ride and enjoy. Okay, you too, right. Lady Tam. If you have any questions or you want some information or whatever we can help, always call us or contact us. COVID afraid of getting Bob.
Could be.
I sent you a message on Facebook. Is that you? I sent you guys each other's phone numbers, so hopefully you got them. Okay, so I guess they caught up with each other. Tell us the real story about the rally. We just heard it all. I'm also 61, at least till August. Me too. What day in August? Monday. I can't spell. Oh. All righty.
We're not the spelling police here.
No, we're not.
Or the grammar police. Remember that. We're not.
Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Or the speech police.
Yeah.
Can't talk either.
So it was a nice rally. I'm not regretting that we came up.
Yep.
So, it was nice.
Thanks to Rod. We were able to bring you this information.
Yep. And so, maybe it'll work out for next year. Maybe it won't. Maybe someday we'll come back. I don't know. I don't know what the future is. I don't know what rallies we're going to do next year because it's everything's up in the air with the gas prices. What's it, Brews and
Baggers and Brews.
Baggers and Brews was on the other night, came on our live, and he said he's put a halt on all of his rides. Or his rallies. He's not going to be doing any. There's probably going to be a lot of people. I see the monkey guy still going to Sturgis, but I mean, he's in Florida, so the Florida rallies. If you're in a state, it's not that big a deal. He's coming all the way from Florida, pulling his trailer, so he's got some expenses to get to Sturgis this year too. So
that's good. I'm glad, Stephen. He said he left Laconia today. He's the one that I thought maybe we could meet up with tomorrow. He said it was chilly, but the rain held off. When he got to Connecticut, it rained. He rode for 130 miles.
Oh, that's a good ride.
Yeah, so he must have went back home today. So sorry we missed you, Stephen.
Going to Sturgis? Going to any other rally?
Lady Tam says she'll be 68 in October. His birthday's in October.
Yep.
So just sent you a text, Tam. All right, I heard it go off. Wrong phone. This phone.
So, yeah. So, not bad. And like I said, we've got Sturgis coming up, and we'll be in Sturgis already on the 30th of June. It's going to take us about 10 days to get there. Like I say, we're going to be by...
no way. He said he's not going to Sturgis, I guess.
We're going to Clockworks, and...
I'm older.
Makes the windshields and the fenders, all kinds of neat stuff they make. And Brian, the owner, he invited us over to check it all out. And we're stopping by Dakota Gauges, and we'll show you all the neat things that they make stuff for all kinds of race cars and rails, all kinds of neat stuff. Might maybe get one for the golf cart. And we'll see about that. It'd be nice to have a speedometer in the golf cart. instead of using
It'd be
our phone.
nice to have the horn where it belongs.
So that's on the turn signal, and when we had the cover on, it beeps the horn.
Well,
turns
every
the
time
blinker
you go to turn and you beep, it's like it's loud for a little golf cart horn. It scares the crap, and then people look like, "What's wrong?" I'm just hitting the button. I didn't do it on purpose. I'm starting to realize what part of this I consider entertainment is Bob's ranting about something on the live feeds. It's funny. Does that say more about me or about Bob? He goes off on rants on everything.
Sometimes I go off on people. I've been a lot better.
You don't want to be there when that happens. Are you two or is it two? Is it two or two? T-O or T-O?
Well, T-O-O means also. That's the only way we learned in school, and I'm going to stick it with that. I don't care what they said the other meaning is. I don't care.
Thank you, Lady Tam. She says I look younger.
And most people think we look younger, and that's fine.
No, I look younger than you. He'd always come home and say, "Oh, people thought I was this or this." I never told him what all the people thought I was. It was 90 in Chattahoochee today. Chattahoochee.
Chattanooga. It's Chattanooga.
Chattahoochee.
Chattanooga. There's an N in there.
Oh,
Chattanooga. I can see that without my glasses on.
We miss the cooler time in the summer, but we like that we can ride here most of the year. Oh, can you really? I didn't think you would be able to ride in Tennessee all year round.
You get snow. That's what happened with California. That's where we started riding all of our mileage, was because in California, there really isn't very many days you can't ride a bike. And so, which is, no matter what they say about California, it's one of the greatest places to ride a bike because you've got everything: desert, mountains, beach, coast, redwoods, Humboldt County, San Diego. A lot of great places to ride.
San Francisco.
A lot of crazy drivers too, though. Got to be cautious.
Yes, you do. Mike says Monkey's Garage is looking like a dealership. Bob, you look older than I am. How old are you? We got rain up here in the northeast in Arizona today. So northeast. So there, you're on the other side of Flagstaff. You're up by northeast. What's that lake up there? Not Parker. Starts with a P though, I think.
I thought that was in California. Powell.
Powell Lake. I get by Powell Lake. There's some good riding here in Virginia. You guys didn't stay long enough to enjoy it. I know.
And we're thinking about that next year. We're like I said, we're looking to do Daytona
Drive or whatever.
We're looking to do Daytona for sure, and that's the plan right now. If gas gets to be $8 a gallon, probably ain't going to do it. But I mean, at this moment, we are thinking of Daytona for the spring rally, and at that point, we're thinking about after that we would go up to North Carolina. I'd like to do some of that Mega Valley ride. Plus, there's a lot of vendors, manufacturers up that way, some bike builders that have invited us up that we'd like to check out and put on our channel, things like that.
But I'm just afraid it's going to be the wrong time of year.
But also Memorial Day weekend, the weekend before Memorial Day, they had the Sons of Speed, had some stuff in Tennessee that I would have liked to have done, but we were on the East Coast. So Myrtle Beach we have down at this moment. We can cancel it if I decide not to go. Myrtle Beach, we just said, because what we look at is the rallies we do good volume on. Daytona, we did really excellent this year, better than we've ever done before for Daytona. And Myrtle Beach, we did pretty good last year on Myrtle Beach. This year did a little bit better. So it's worthwhile for the $500 that I pay for the campground. It's not a bad deal to come back because we get the week before the rally, we can stay at our campground that we're a membership through for free. So that's how we get there to where we can be there for the 3 or 4 weeks that we're there.
So Ryder Rex wants to know if we can get into the Reinhardt plant.
I don't know. Where's the Reinhardt plant at?
I don't know. Is it Reinhardt?
I'm not a big Reinhardt person. We tried to talk to them before at their trucks and they blew us off. So we pushed Vance and Hines and not them. So
because Vance and Hines would talk to us.
Yeah. We also have to say that because somebody didn't know that the other day that
the Indians.
Yep. Vance and Hines. Is it Vance and Hines? No, it's
Rush.
Rush has pipes for Indians. They're actually at the Indian dealer.
So Charlie, you can tell your friend, I think it was Scott, that Rush has pipes for Indians, and so does the Freedom Exhaust. So he can check those two out too, because he was looking for Reinhardt and couldn't find him. I don't know if he went back into the dealership and found him or not. Steven says he's about to have carpal tunnel, and once I heal, I'll be on the road permanently. August 10th, 1960. Oh
What's
my
his birthday?
goodness. Yep. Mine's a week later. Mine's August 17th, 1960. How about that? We're a week apart. And I can get you into the Reinhardt plant. Oh.
You sure they'll let us in? I mean, that's what I said. We went up to them twice now and tried to talk to them, and they're like, no, we don't want to talk to you. Screw you.
Reinhardt's in North Carolina. I don't know. You can ask them and see what they say. Open Mind says, what did you think about Leesburg?
Leesburg, I liked it. I love the dealership.
Yeah.
That's another one of our favorite dealerships just because of the owner, John. He's a great guy and works hard, and I really like him. And they have a good vendor set up there. Downtown's not bad, but I mean, it's like Daytona downtown. It's, everybody says, oh, downtown's the whole thing. Well, yeah, you're sitting around watching bikes ride up and down the street, and there's a handful of bars and restaurants and stuff you can eat at in town. But, there's some vendors down there. I'm not impressed with, it's a great crowd that they have. They do bring a lot of people in, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But it was a fun rally.
Yeah.
Now we stayed we were all the way in Orlando this year. And so we had quite a ride too. We didn't really stay very late at night. And it would probably be nice to see it with all the whole time. I don't know if they start on Thursday or what day they start. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I guess that's what the dealership starts on Thursday, I guess. So
hi, Tom.
So yeah, it'd be interesting. I would want to go every year. I don't think there's enough there. We're not drinkers. So when we look at these rallies, that's what we look at. What to do? Are we going to ride? Is there good content there for us to do? There's other people out there like Prime Cut Pro and Awesome Documentary. They're all about filming bikes and girls. That's their two main things. You can sit downtown there and get all that you want all day long. Now,
don't have to go anywhere.
That's right. So some of you don't want to see that all the time, and we do a little bit of that, but we go out and find other things to film. So it's kind of like Daytona. See, we've never really I wanted to spend a full day at Cackleberry, and we have not been able to do that yet. And stay till the evening to just show you what goes on out there.
That was night. I had the day we left, and I had a wet t-shirt.
Yeah. So like to do that. So then also the No Name Bar up there, we'd like to check out when they have the pudding wrestling and all that. We'd like to spend some time there. But that, most of the things like that, that's a whole day we burn up. So, and if there's other events going on, we never even got to go back out to the campground. What's the campground we recommended that they
oh yeah,
Gulfstream, Golf something. What was that called? By the
Crazy Horse.
Yeah, Crazy Horse. That's what it was. But we never got to go back and talk to him because they said it was the crowdedest it's ever been. So I'm assuming we gave him a lot of rentals out there or a lot of places because they never turn anybody away. It's boondocking, but you can bring a generator, whatever you got to do. But I mean, it wasn't that bad a price for the time it was out there. So yeah. So I don't know. Leesburg would be neat to go back when everything's open. But it wouldn't be a rally that I would want to go every year to. Panama City's like that too. I'm really done with Panama City, but Chase, which is a promoter that's willing to talk to us all the time, we don't have anything. Did we book something there? We didn't book nothing there. Yeah, you can't book 6 months in advance. That's right. Yeah. You can't go any longer than that. But once again, it's another campground. It charges us $500 or $600 to be there. So I don't know. It kind of depends what we do after Daytona next year. If we decide to go up and do North Carolina and Tennessee and stuff, then we're done. We're not coming back for Leesburg. We're not coming back for Panama City. We'll be moving on to Myrtle Beach and then head home. And maybe hit something on the way back. I don't know. Like last time we did that bike. We did that Tennessee music thing, which I'm not really that interested in doing that again.
There was probably rides around there, but we didn't really go out.
Yeah. They took me on a ride.
Well, he went on a ride.
It was pretty neat. It was a short ride, but they had a fish fry and all kinds of stuff, and she was sorry she missed it. And she stayed and was waiting for something else was going on.
Were they having races or burnouts? Oh, it was the bike builder thing, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think.
And so, yeah, so it's I don't know. And this is just like with our channel. I don't know where we're going in the future. Like I say, we're building the garage at home. Hopefully it'll start soon. Um, Hopefully sometime in Sturgis, we'll hear that the building will be delivered. And so we want to build a shop in there and do some filming in there and doing stuff on that. And so we're I don't know. It depends what you guys end up watching. No, we're probably not going to constantly do all these rallies over and over and over and over and over. Because you're right. You've seen one rally, you've seen it all. I can actually go in most of these rallies. I don't have to go back ever to any of these rallies, and I can repost stuff and re-edit it, and you wouldn't know that I wasn't there. I can redo this one for the 100th, and you wouldn't know that I wasn't here. It's not that hard to do, and because videos pop up on my feed. I had one today, it came from Laconia 6 years ago, and I clicked on it first, and I was like, I don't know, I didn't see that. And then I looked down, and I'm like, holy crap, it was 6 years ago this guy put it up. And so, but you don't, unless we're very observant in what we do, because this is all we're doing when we come to a rally. We're not drinking, we're not partying, we're not here with a bunch of friends. We're here to see what's going on. We're here to document what's going on, tell you some good information. We meet you guys.
It was kind of like that with us too, Stephen. He said besides the unbelievable rides around Laconia, he was just disappointed with how spread out everything was. Maybe it was because it was first time.
But
we just think because we usually when we go someplace, well, we didn't really know anybody in Daytona the first time, but it just.
Well, say first time in Daytona, we went during the fall rally, so it was a lot smaller. But I mean, we started talking to people. We talked to the Indian dealer. We got to talk to Shelly Rossmeyer the first time we went there, so we did get contacts the very first time we went.
Yeah.
So, and then it's gotten better. And Sturgis is the same way. It's gotten better and better and better as we go back. We meet that many more people because people start finding out about us, and they realize that we do have some kind of information that we give out, and people watch it, especially in Sturgis. That's my biggest thing. That's why I talk about it so much. We have so many people watch us in Sturgis. It just blows me away that if we could have a rally last year around in Sturgis, we'd be rich, but we don't. So we're not.
All right. Bye, Stephen. Thanks so much. Glad you had a good time up here. Eventually, Mr. Lowe's get a D&D bullet cat.
So I don't know. So we'll have a lot more stuff when we'll be talking about rallies and stuff coming up. We'll be talking about Sturgis soon. We'll have a lot of information coming out on Sturgis, and we're gonna have a video come up here soon, live, that we're gonna give you guys that have been to Sturgis, like Neil and Mike and all these guys that have been there a lot of times, can come in the chat and answer questions that we can't answer, or ones that maybe we get so busy we can't answer, and you guys can answer them in there. So anybody that's gotten a lot of experience, like maybe we'll get Tony on here, maybe he'll get on our chat too, and he can answer stuff for Glencoe and stuff like that, where you guys can talk inside while we do some of the stuff. We'll give you updates of what's happening in Sturgis, and this is all going to happen in the next couple of weeks. Once we get in there, we talk to the Buffalo Chip. We'll be already talking to the city, finding out what the heck's going on there if they don't call us before that, and some of the other campgrounds that might already be there. Kathmandu, but kickstands, we've never been able to really catch up with them. Somebody else wants us to talk to Lampshire. They said they're interested now in talking to us. If you got a campground that's interested in talking to us, give us the key person. Make sure they know who we are, that where I walk up and I say, hey, we're Bob and Tam. We got the YouTube channel. Who are you? Well, one of our subscribers, which I probably won't remember your name at that time, told me to come talk to you. What do you do? Well, no, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for you to be explaining all the crap that we do. And if they want that, we can send them a letter or an email and send them a link to one of our videos of one of the campgrounds we review, and they can look at that. If they like it, that's great. Because what I look at is, this is free. We're not charging anybody. We're trying to get sponsorships, but so far we got no sponsorships yet from anybody. We haven't really pushed that hard yet. So other than you guys watching our videos, a few of you that belong to our Patreon page, which I highly recommend, and I highly appreciate all that. We haven't really had a lot of really good stuff to put on here lately. I got a few girls now that maybe I can put on there, but I don't have any really good videos. It hasn't really been any good wet teas for a while here. So Sturgis should be pretty good because there's always a bunch of them out there. So we should be able to get some good stuff out there for you guys, and to get Patreon going again and show that. And we'll also have a bunch of stuff from Topless Tuesday. And I've got to check with Michael. I think he's still coming out.
Yeah.
And so he'll be coming out and doing all the filming during that. We're going to do the filming. We're going to go back like we did the first year and film everything up to the topless part, and then we're getting the hell out. And let Michael get it, and I'll just get the footage.
So, Stephen, you like the King of Mingus Highway? or did you like the rides that go to the Kangamangas Highway? He said he loved Thunder Beach. That's his favorite so far. He'll probably never go back to Daytona or Laconia. I'd just rather ride the Kangamangas. So he enjoyed it. Another corny joke I just made up. What's the opposite of Catmandu? Catman don't. I'm as like-minded as you are, Bob. That's open mind. Can't wait to be heading back to Sturgis again this year. Hope you guys have a fun and safe time. Keep up the good videos and live streams. Alrighty. Yes, because I think we've been on way too long.
Probably.
It's 10:15.
Because we go back
3 hours.
We go back and I'm getting to be like the Monkey Man now, except we're just not drinking. I know he goes on. He said some 3 or 4 hour ones, and we've never. I guess we did. We had one in Sturgis like this. It was this long, and then when I went back to try to put it on, we lost it.
Oh, I get it. Instead of Catmandu, it's Dog Lady Don't. See, I like stuff like that. I'm nuts. There's commercials on TVs. I love like animal commercials.
Talking animals. She'll pee her pants in a minute.
When I think it was the Geico one with the pig, and he had the little pinwheels, and he was out the window going wee. My daughter saw that, and they all just knew that I would just die, and I did. Shots. We don't do shots.
Do you have anything in here to shot?
I don't need much to get me going.
All right. So, any more questions?
I don't think so.
We'll end it up. Still gotta take showers tonight.
I know. If I missed anybody way up high when he was talking, I'm sorry. I missed you. The only one I could remember because I didn't have any pen and paper to write. So, thanks for coming along tonight. We love hanging out with you guys. We have a good time. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Think about Patreon. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next video.
I ride the ride again. Real slow.
She doesn't need a shot. She needs I don't need no gummies either. Alrighty. Everybody have a good night. Happy Father's Day. I guess maybe we'll see you tomorrow. Yep. I guess with Adam Amsoil and Katie maybe.
Maybe that'll only be an hour one. Because this was way too long. So you already got the whole rundown. So we'll refer everybody back to this one.
There you go. If you want to know about
then we put the commercials in, and people get tired of it because they said they get tired of seeing all the damn commercials.
I know. That's stinky.
Sign up for YouTube TV, and you won't get any commercials.
There you go.
That's how you do it. Yep. You still get paid for it.
Alrighty.
What's your last one? Good night.
See, nothing here.
You didn't get poop on a cracker tonight.
Crap on a cracker. Nope. Or Mrs. Crap on a Cracker. She's the one that just got her license too, I think. Wasn't it her?
Yeah.
So, all right. Good night. Happy Father's Day.
Click the end the
See
broadcast.
you all. Whoops. Whoa, we're going in. See you tomorrow night.